Extreme will invest the same level of effort in what FY and Nothing to Say are going to do together.
With that in mind, you want them then to focus mostly on themselves. There's nothing on the side of BB team that makes you think like, oh, they also should really focus on this one player in particular and try to shut him down.
No, I think BB team will just, you know, go with their game plan. They're going to do what they've done so far. Maybe improve a little bit their strategies, pick up what other teams are doing, because this is a team that's capable of executing anything. That's also good to mention, like in the sense that the players are so good individually that any idea they will see, they can make it theirs the next minute. So in that sense, they can keep improving. On Extreme side, I think that if they get a game, honestly, if the game is 50-50, I would favor them in that matchup. I think they're a little bit more creative when Dota allows you to be. But they have a lot of issues they need to fix on their way, and so far they have shown some weaknesses, that they tend to give some openings to the opponents, and I don't think you can afford that against BB.
Yeah, I completely agree. I also want to pick your brain a little bit more about Lone Druid. Do you feel like if you give this, because you said it was solvable, if you give this hero too good of a start, do you feel like there's too much pressure on it? Because like back in the days, like when Anti-Mage, like he gets the free farm, he gets his battle free, which is not a hero right now. Spectre as well, if she's off to a good timing, do you feel the same way about the Lone Druid?
I mean, to me, the issue with Lone Druid is, like when you play with Lone Druid, the hero is very slow. Like you need to get to the Mjolnir and you need to get to the Aghanims, and then you also need to be able to force the enemy team to play the map, because you don't want to run into a team fight with a like Mjolnir, Aghanims, Lone Druid. If they have the proper heroes, it might just be completely. I mean, now actually BB team decide to ban it, so we're not gonna get to see it. So perhaps irrelevant. But it's not a hero I believe will necessarily stay in the first phase ban of the tournament. I think some teams are gonna feel pretty okay playing against it, because it's one of the slowest carry heroes out of everything we've seen. I think SF is much faster, Draw in a sense is faster. Lone Druid is like the slowest by far.
Well,
none of these heroes. Ame is not gonna play any of these, so Ame is being heavily targeted by BB team right now.
Yeah, before we get to the first picks, I feel we're talking a lot about, you know, because Extreme Gaming in this sense is coming in as a little bit of an underdog, especially based on playstyle as well. But BB team has the same score. Surely they're not invincible. What is their weakness? If they're gonna, you know, if they're gonna dominate the early game and then close out games that well, why don't they win every game?
To me, I think of BB team's weakness, it's always been the fact that it's like the reverse of their strength. It's they're so disciplined, they're so perfect that it makes them a little bit scripted. It's like you see their drafts and you know what's going to happen. It's really rare that they allow themselves to go outside the script and to try crazy things. You're never gonna see. You know, yesterday we watched Sumail play, and he has his BKB on cooldown, and he's playing Alk, and he's just running around, blinking in the fog. You will never see that from BB team, ever, from any of their players. Like, they are extremely disciplined, and they respect timings. If this isn't their timing, they're just not gonna take the fight. They'll punish you the second they see an opening, but that can be a weakness, because I think, especially in these kind of, you know, in the highest tier of tournaments, you need a little bit of initiative and risk-taking. Yeah, I think they don't take enough risks, if that makes sense, and some teams can abuse that.
Maybe some PTSD back in the days, a couple of TIs ago, when Tormentor was a thing where it was their arch nemesis, which like killed them. They were risking too much, sometimes going for the high ground when maybe they shouldn't. So this team did become more tame. And to check some of the openings, Bane picked up by Extreme Gaming, super solid position 5. This is also one of Hello heroes, so they definitely know the insides and outs of
Sorry to maintain it. Right side of the swim.
I feel like
maintain it.
has shown some weaknesses as well. Coming out from the off lane, Miero being the zoo expert from the off lane, so we could start thinking about potentially maybe getting Lycan online, because this is one of the hardest matchups for Bane to trade in the lane. They already so So want to see how they're going to approach it.
ဒီပွဲက extreme နဲ့ပါနဲ့ဘဘွန်းနဲ့နော်
We've seen
extreme နဲ့ဘ
at
ဘွန်း
least
နဲ့
the games that we covered.
ညကြည့်မယ်လေ AC ပေါ့ဥမာတကောင်ပဲပေးရသေးတယ်ဆို
There was another game of like in yesterday
ဘင်းရ window ဝင်ပဲ
showing the strengths of the hero. I feel like this hero is going to be heavily bumped up in priority. Maybe once we see like these teams that are not top tier, once they get eliminated, it's going to get quite a lot of priority in the drafts.
We could definitely see
ဒီနှစ်ကောင်ကနည်းနည်းတော့ကိုလိုကန်လာနိုင်တယ်သိလားဒီနှစ်ကောင်ကပြောရမယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်နည်းနည်းဘဘွန်းကကြတော့ဘဘွန်းကနည်းနည်းလောက်ွက်လေးတွေနည်းနည်းရွှေ့တတ်တယ်နော်အဲ့တော့ပြောရမယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့နည်းနည်းအန်ဒီရများတဲ့အသိန်းလို့သတ်မှတ်လို့ရတယ် extreme အောင်ဘာတူလဲဆိုဘာမှမတူ extreme ကကြတော့လောက်ွက်လောက်တာလားလက်ယူဖြစ်နေတာလားမသေးခွဲလောက်အောင်ပဲကြဘာတွေလုပ်မှမသိအဲ့တော့အန်ဒီရများတဲ့နှစ်သိန်းအဲ့တော့အန်ဒီရများတဲ့နှစ်သိန်းနဲ့တွေ့ပြီးခေဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တုတ်เสียရှိတာတစ်ခုပဲ over ကြရင်တဆုံးယူ under ကြရင်တဆုံးယူအော်အများဆုံးဟာတွေဒါနှိုက်ဟို 0.7 နေ8တွေအဲ့ဒါတွေသွားဆော့နေတယ်အလကားပဲသိလား 2.2 လို့တကယ်လုံးဝအော်ကောင်းပြီဆိုတာတွေပဲလိုက်ဆော့မကီး under ချမှာလားအနည်းဆုံးဘယ်လောက်လဲ39ကောင်လို့40လို့ဥပမာဖွင့်တာပြောပါဖွင့်ပြောပါလေသိရမလား1.2ဆလို့1.3လို့ပေါ့အဲ့လိုကောင်မျိုးတွေစော်ပလိုက်တသိန်းနဲ့ over ကျင်တယ်မလားအများဆုံးဘယ်တိဖွင့်လားအကောင်30ပဲဖွင့်စော်ပလိုက်တော့အဲ့လိုမျိုးအစုံနေတာစော်
It's a weird band because Enigma would have been a good pick for them and Wyvern
ဟုတ်တော့နှစ်သိန်းလုံးကသိရမှာကြောင်တော်ကောင်တွေဆိုတော့
on the lane and in the game
ကျွန်တော်ဆိုလည်းဒီပွဲဆိုလို့ရှိရင် drop ကြည့်မယ် drop ကြည့်ပြီးတော့ under 9နဲ့ drop ဆိုရင် under တဆုံးစော် over 9နဲ့ drop ဆိုရင် over တဆုံးစော်
I think they might be looking for some like Wind Ranger, maybe even a Ringmaster out of this phase because they love to run it as a position 4. It also could be carry. I'm a big fan of Ringmaster in general. It's a hero that gives them quite a lot of team fight, and it's also one of the best, maybe like second best hero in the game when you play against Bane. First one would be Silencer, but he's nowhere as strong as Ringmaster because you can just drop the box, save somebody immediately after Fiend's Grip, and now you have double saving support, which are
လောလောဆယ်တော့ defensive support တွေများတယ်နော် remaster ကတော့အားလုံးသိပြီးသား bane ကြိုက်တာကိုကောင်းတယ်နော် finger grip ဆွဲထားလို့ရှိရင်ပုံနဲ့လှမ်းထည့်မယ်သူကသူအပြာကြောင့်မကောက်လို့ဘာကြီးပဲပါပုံနဲ့ထည့်တာဆိုတော့လွတ်တယ်winner wire နဲ့သိတဲ့အတိုင်းပဲcounter reaction ပြန်ပေးတဲ့ hero မျိုး defensive ပို strong တယ်အဲ့တော့ defensive နှစ်ကောင်ဖြစ်နေတယ် key enter ဖို့ chance များနေပြီ
Because you throw the ultimate and all the illusions also interrupted?
No, you put the Fiend's Grip target in the box. I forgot the name of the spell, and all of a sudden it interrupts the Fiend's Grip, whether Bane has axe or not. So, and on top of it, it's a pretty decent lane to be honest, because the Ringmaster actually can dish out a lot of damage. If you, it's kind of hard to tank all the ring spells, and you outrange the Bane also on top of it with your auto attack. So, just a very popular answer to the Bane and very efficient also. That's an early Storm pick for nothing to say. There's not going to be a cuddle to help him in this game. It's been banned by themselves. Okay, Mirana, interesting. It used to be a Dota like back in my days where nothing is relevant anymore, by the way, but I'm still going to drop it out there. Mirana was considered
ဒီမှာထုတ်မဲ့ဘော်ဒါတွေအားပေးကြအောင်နော်ဘတ်တော်ငိမ်းလေးဘတ်တော်ငိမ်းအကောင့်မရှိတဲ့သူတွေလည်းဖွင့်ထားဘတ်တော်ငိမ်းမိုက်တယ်အဲ့လေ wise ban နဲ့အတူတူပါပဲ bonus နှစ်ခုရတာပေါ့ဗျယူတိုင်းတော့ bonus တွေကအသုံးချတိုင်းတော့ကောင်းတာမသိဘူးဒီနေ့ဆိုတောက်ကြနေဟဲ့လားဒီနေ့ဆိုရင် wise ဘက်က Friday bonus ပြီးခဲ့တဲ့ဗုဒ္ဓဟူးနေ့ကဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဘတ်တော်ငိမ်းက BOG ကဗုဒ္ဓဟူး bonus ပေါ့နော်အဲ့တော့အဲ့ bonus တွေကသုံးတိုင်းတော့လေရွှေပဲပေါ့
also stems from that same time period.
It's probably outdated, and this Ember pick is terrifying to me. I think, you could think of the extreme gaming heroes as like being able to kill Ember, but not with Wyvern Ring behind him. Like he will reign supreme in the early game. I think the matchup is pretty okay. I've seen it go both ways, Storm versus Ember, but obviously GPK. Maybe top 3 laners in the world. Like he will not falter on the lane. If he's supposed to win it, he will win it. So I think this Ember pick is very strong. And now you add a Largo with it. I think what was it that we saw? I think it was Lornoff, right? Lornoff and Davai playing Ember Largo.
Yeah, the combo. Genius. Like you're just dishing out so much damage, and
the damage was crazy.
Even Ember Spirit, in some, like, we've seen it yesterday, even if he doesn't have that good of a lane, like, this hero can recover easily because he can farm relatively quickly, and this is the Spirit.
Extra
bit of a damage, extra bit of a heal on top of that, double saving support. they also picked Mirana into Ringmaster on top of that, which is
ဘဘွန် defense တွေတော်တော်
not the
များ
easiest. Like, let's say you land the combo, and there's still gonna be a box coming through. Right now, it's a very single target-oriented lineup from Extreme Gaming, and they're gonna be picking up the Doom, seeing that there is good amount of heals. One side of BB team, Largo, Winter Wyvern, good pickup, but I feel like something.
အနာကောင်းနေပြီတဲ့
lacking right now for
Yeah.
drop ကတော့ ana drop ပဲ
Again, like XT is thinking about how the game is gonna scale and develop, and I would favor them in that regard. Like think of Doom versus a Largo, Ringmaster, and Wyvern lineup. Like whoever gets doomed will die. These heroes cannot save from Doom. So in that sense, they have the team fight condition on their side. Think of Moonlight,
ဘာရင်းလဲဆိုတော့
Bane, Night Vision.
စက်သားဟင်းရယ်
Night Vision advantage.
ဒီဘက်ကကျတော့ဟိုပါလေး
They have clear initiation.
ပဲသီးရယ်မြင့်ရယ်ကြော်ထားတာအဆက်ကြော်တယ်
In a sense,
ကောင်းတယ်
like, if
share
they get there. And that's probably what they're talking about. But you need to get there against BB team. They will make you pay the hard price if you give openings before. And I see a lot of openings before. They lack damage, like Bane, Storm, Mirana running together, trying to contest runes. They don't have enough
ကျွန်တော်
damage
ဝါရ
to
တယ်
do an Ember shield.
အဓိကအကြောင်းအရာတွေထဲမှာမာသားကြီးရဲ့လက်ရကြောင်းပဲပါ
This might be a game of BB team, dominating the early game, getting all the power runes. GPK, causing a lot of issues. Maybe you have to concede some objectives. And this is exactly what BB team enjoys. This is the position they want to be in. I like the Storm pick in a sense. I think it was cool, like against Wyvern Ringmaster, but the Mirana is
Wait, but I like
big
it, I
question
like
mark,
it.
even though I like the hero. I think they needed
ဒီနေ့တင်
something
လက်ယူတယ်
more aggressive. Like a
လက်ယူတယ်
standout.
ဆိုတော့နည်းနည်း
They needed to bring more damage to the Bane Storm combo.
ဒါ
and
ကိုယ့်
it's
ရဲ့
a little bit
ကိုယ်ပိုင်
worse
အယူဆပါ
about how
နည်းနည်း
the
လောက်ကွက်
first 15
လေးတွေ
minutes
ရှိ
of the
တဲ့
game are
အ
going
သင်း
to
တွေ
be
လို့ခံစားရတဲ့အတွက်
Yeah,
ကြောင့်
something that the BB
ဒါပေမဲ့ဒီကောင်နဲ့ဒီလိုပွဲမျိုးကြရင်လောက်ကွက်
team
လောက်ချင်မှာလောက်
exploring
ပါ
some of their games like a month ago, maybe even slightly more, where they were playing Largo, and in 2 of the games they were bringing Largo 6 minutes in, 8 minutes in, understanding that if they bring an extra hero, like even though their support is definitely stronger,
ကျွန်တော်စိတ်တင်တော့လေဘတ်ဘုံကပြီးခဲ့တဲ့နေ့တွေမှာရှေ့နေ့တွေမှာဘတ်ဘုံကအနည်းဆုံးဟန်ဒီကပ်လေးတွေအောက်သင်းတွေကိုပေးကျွေးထားတယ်လို့ကျွန်တော်ထင်တယ်
that GPK is also having a good time.
ရွန်အီတာနဲ့တွေ့တဲ့ပွဲမှာရော
So what are
ရွန်အီတာနဲ့တွေ့တဲ့ပွဲမှာလည်းဒီကောင်1-1ဆော့သွားတယ်ပြီးနောက်ကကျတော့ပူဝါရိန်းဂျာလားပူဝါရိန်းဂျာနဲ့ဆော့တဲ့ပွဲမှာလည်းပူဝါရိန်းဂျာကိုဂိမ်း1မှာ26ကောင်32ကောင်ကေးအနှိမ့်နဲ့ရှုံးသွားနိုင်သွားတာတွေပါညာဆိုတော့
You're kind of like budget.
ဒီကောင်တွေဒီနေ့မှာတော့နည်းနည်းလေး
better version, but
If it's their
not a
lineup, I
hero.
think.
နည်းနည်းလေးပုံမှန်ပြန်ဆော့မယ်နဲ့တူတယ်ဘတ်ဘုံက
Heavy physical, objective-taking hero. It also stops the Doom from being an issue. Okay, it's actually pretty bad against TB though. The
Don't
matchup against TB
say
is
Tim,
horrible,
no? Say
so
Google.
probably not an option anymore.
Is it horrible because TB has high base armor?
Yeah, it's like Illusion, like Venge, even though she goes for the Hydra's Breath, Illusion hero is still too much.
အဲ့တော့ဒီကောင်တွေက
Again,
draft က
also
ဒီ
you
ကောင်တွေ
have reflection, so you get the Venge
ယူထားတဲ့ draft က
form.
အဆင်ပြေတယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒီကောင်တွေက H ring လို့အသင်းမျိုးဒီကောင်တွေက
3 TB or 4 TB Illusion.
ကေး40အောက်နားလောက်လေးမှာနေဒီကောင်တွေကနိုင်အောင်ဆော့မယ်ဆိုဆော့လို့ရတော့တဲ့လက်ဆက်လက်နာမှာရှိတယ်ဒီကောင်တွေလက်ဆက်လက်နာ
Okay, they go for PL. That's a win condition for sure. Like besides Storm, they have nothing versus PL. I mean, Doom can buy Radiance. Basically, if you lose the early game really hard as PL, Doom can become good, but the Doom needs to stay ahead for that. If it's a 50-50 or PL is ahead, Doom is probably one of the worst heroes against PL.
I'm just very excited to see PL against TB 2026. Some bangers are coming back. It looks very good throughout the whole game. Like you did mention Radiance. Other than that, there really isn't much. He's not afraid of the supports. They can't really itemize in a sense. Neither can Storm Spirit. Very difficult to
ဒီနေ့ဘဘုံတကယ်လုံးမဲ့နေလို့တော့ကျွန်တော်ထင်တာပဲဟုတ်တော့ရှင်းနေရက
resetting the fight on
ရှင်းနေရကထိုးကျွေးထားတယ်ဆိုတော့လေ
the Winter Wyvern curse.
အောက်ကြီးလေးတွေအဆင်ပြေထားသူနဲ့တွေ့တဲ့အောက်သင်းလေးတွေအဆင်ပြေထားတယ်ဆိုတော့
But he can't doom everything, so
ဒီနေ့ဒီကောင်တွေအမှတ်ပြန်ယူရတော့မယ်နေလို့တော့ထင်တာပဲ
they have an upper hand early.
ပြီးတော့ဒီကောင်တွေကတရက်ကိုမှတပွဲပဲရှိတာဟုတ်
Underestimate how strong of a
Whatever.
PL like
Group stage
in the
ka.
lane is. Like this hero
As a
is
Group A, yeah?
in the
Group A
right
to tier the
hands.
way back
All
here.
these Eastern European carries, they know how to utilize PL.
I feel like both teams have quite solid lanes, and interestingly enough, I don't favor any team in any lane this game. I think it's a 50-50. It's going to come down to execution on all 3 lanes.
Okay.
အဲ့လိုစဉ်းစားမယ်ဆို H ring ကလည်း
Plays who, they
We get
both
it.
have the
Voilà, man.
possibility to win their lanes.
3ရက်မှာ
And therefore,
ဂိမ်းမှာလီဂျွန်
TB
2စီတပွဲနိုင်
is
ထားတာ
anything
တရက်ပဲရှိတယ်နော်ကျန်တဲ့2ရက်ကတော့
because
အောက်သင်းတွေကိုဒီကောင်တွေနေနေတာ
depends on who does well on the
The
1-1 is sorted. Rune
trio
Eater
of
or
supports plus mid laner, I
who are
think
in now.
heavily favors BB team. So in that sense, they might pick up some pace much more than Extreme in the mid game.
So ideally for Extreme, they have at least.
တော့ drop ကတော့ key name နဲ့ drop ပဲ
Yes,
ပုံစံကြည့်အောင်
if they can secure lead in the laning phase, that would fix all the issues. It would be amazing for them.
Random question: does the draft for BB team make sense now with the Enigma ban?
A good question actually. No, I would say no. I would say it doesn't. But you know, it's understandable. Sometimes you ban Enigma because you're planning to pick a carry, and then
Yeah.
they pick something else, and now you just go somewhere else. So
ကဲကြက်ယူကိုင်နေတာလေးကြည့်ကြပါ
just the complexity of drafting in Dota.
Yeah, that's why if you have second pick, that you only get one ban, you have to like 5-head think about anything that might happen. But yeah, there's no Enigma in this game. We got 10 heroes on the board, and it seems like we might have an even game on our hand. If one player is gonna absolutely pop off the cost, who is it? Which player is set up for success most?
I think it needs to be NTS on side of Extreme.
Win two
Gaming.
way ဘယ်လိုမျိုးလဲ
He
တီး
needs
ဦး
to be in the driving seat. He needs to be making all the right moves.
အဲ့ဒါကြီးအသက်ပေါ်တာကြီး
Doom with him, which is not a hero that makes moves early on.
မစမ်းကြည့်ရသေး
Let's see if nothing to say on his Storm Spirit will pop off as we head over to Cap and SVG for game 1.
Thank you, Shiver. That's right. We've got a Phantom Lancer. A Phantom Lancer, this will be the third time it's picked up here at EWC. And the team who has been playing quite a bit of Phantom Lancer is Team Yandex, which is talking to some of the players. That is the team that everybody is looking at. Everybody's expecting them to end up in the grand finals. They're kind of the front runners, apparently.
According to who?
According to some of the players that I talked to. I talked to Yatoro, Maureen, Amar.
Must have good scrim results. Everyone's getting bodied. They're like, well, we're going to see you there. Just hope you're the other squad. You got to put this PL in an Eastern European carry's hands, right? I mean, this is their hero. I feel I can't even think of a player outside of that region that has had a lot of long-term success on the hero other than Ana.
Okay, yeah.
The one player that comes to mind. So this is a very stylistic hero. You need to have a hero specialist for it. You need to kind of understand the timings and know when to adjust those timings. If you're going to fight early, if you're going to fight with an Ags rush or a Diffu rush, depending on what the itemization is in the meta. And you need to know how to micro the illusions in a way that's maximum disruptive. You're gaining an information advantage for your team. You're super confusing the fights. There's players that do as well. There's players that don't do it at all. And that is the big difference maker on this hero. It's a very good PL game here. This is a true 1v5 Phantom Lancer game. Kirtich should be very confident he can put this game on his back.
Okay, so Extreme, knowing that, one of the moves that we're going to see from them to keep this Phantom Lancer from getting out of control, we're going to see heavy rotations into his lanes, try and shut him down early, or is it more just about, trying to end the game faster?
Extreme ပြမကြိုက်ဘူးလား
Win
ကြိုက်
the
ဘူး
lanes, take early Roshan, close out the game by that second Rosh.
I would say it's just winning the team fights and playing the map better. Like, give this Bane Mirana with a Storm, you have a lot of pickoff potential. If you can force BB to split up on the map, their lineup is pretty strong when they group. They have double saving supports, a lot for sustain, and Ember to just kind of lead the pack. So you definitely want to split this lineup up, start picking them off. You can get 1 or 2 kills on that PL with the Storm in the early mid game. You're going to have a window to maybe get some of those Aegrises for the Terrorblade and start pushing.
အနာနော်ပေါ်တာအနာ40ဆို
That though, I really do favor BB here. It just looks a lot more straightforward for them. Like, they have great team fight. They have saves to bail the PL out, even if you somehow manage to grip him or something. And he just has insane matchups. Like, the Doom matchup's super one-sided. The Terrorblade matchup's very one-sided. And the 2 supports here do nothing. And these are like the 2 worst supports to have against.
40တော့ဟာ42တောင်ဆင်းသွားပြီရဲ့42လည်းကြိုက်တယ်အကုန်ကြိုက်တယ်အနာဆုံးနိုင်
Like, we have not had a Phantom Lancer meta in a really long time, and some of the item builds, there have been some changes to Doom, right? Late game Doom, he gets the permanent Scorched Earth, for example. He's
လာလာစပြီလားစပြီ
that you can just put on
စပြီဆိုပေမဲ့
combined with
စပြီဆိုရင်မနက်စာစားနောက်ကြတာမနက်စာ9နာရီခွဲလောက်ဆိုတော့ဒါနေ့လည်စားလို့ဖြစ်နေတာ
Doom when you go that kind of builds.
3နာရီဆိုတော့9နာရီခွဲဆို10နာရီခွဲ17 17 3ဟုတ်တယ်6နာရီလောက်ဆိုဘိုက်ပြန်စားဒါနေ့လည်စားလို့ဖြစ်နေနေ့လည်စားမစားဘူး
Gives you a little more playability, but I still think this matchup's very one-sided. It's just not fun. You can't hunt him around the map. He just runs. He can just doppel run at you with 10 illusions in the fight. Like, what is your response? You can't do anything. Scorched Earth, Shiva's Radiance. Yeah, it does a little bit to this hero, but honestly, he doesn't care. You're in theory going to play against Shiva's Radiance every game. Somebody can always build it. So the hero either functions versus it or he doesn't. And I think he more than well can take care of it in this meta. And again, you have a lot of sustain here. You have ways to bail you out if you somehow get into trouble. It's as good a PL game as you're going to find.
I would put up a stronger argument, but I think maybe if Doom still broke, if you still had that talent, AoE break on Phantom Lancer, that does sound like actually kind of debilitating, but that's no longer the case. They took that out, and now you just only have the Doom applies mute. As it stands, though, it's looking pretty good for the Phantom Lancer in lane. No surprise there. Ember Spirit is neck and neck with the Storm Spirit. Mid lane, 22 and 5 for both of them.
Should be a very even.
Which
again should be comfortable for BB team here. Don't think they're under too much pressure to make some crazy moves. I think XG will have some more openings in the second half of this laning phase with the Bane Mirana. If they can get some roam going, if they can kind of play through Storm with some power runes, I think they have more opportunity to jump and start killing people here. I think the damage could be a little low for BB. You have this Ringmaster Wyvern support duo that's going to scale really well, gives you a lot of teamfight presence, but their nukes are not doing a lot directly in the early game. So if I'm Xnova, if I'm XFY, I want to get something going here, at least a little bit, you know, like find a cheeky support kill, could test a rune against the Ember, maybe get some deep wards out that can set up some kills later for my Storm, something of this nature. You're not a great stacking team, so again, I think that also pushes you in the aggressive direction. Like, you don't want to just go stack with Mirana here. Who are you really stacking for? You don't want to play that kind of style of game. The more you can find some opportunity, the better this game's going to feel.
လာကြည့်ပြီနော်ဘာလို့လဲမလာရင်အမီရနာဟိုကောင်ထပ်ပြီးလိုက်ပြအောင်ငါကြောင့်အဲ့လို carry လေးတွေအဲ့လိုနည်းနည်း light သိတွေလာကြည့်ပြီဘက်က physical train နေရတဲ့ support တတ်တာဟိုကောင်အတင်းလိုက်လုံးစုပ်ပြတ်တတ်သွား
Support's having little battles on the sides, but nobody's really going to come out with a kill out of it. Just a bit of harassment here or there. Storm Spirit has already made a jaunt off into the jungle.
ဘာမှတေးကြတယ်ဒါမှမလောက်အားလီမှာအဲ့လောက်တတ်မှာမဟုတ်ဘူးဘာမှဘာမှတက်တဲ့အချိန်အဲ့15မိနစ်နဲ့မိနစ်20နားလောက်ကြာတော့မဟုတ်ကောင် GPK separate vessel တွေပါညာရတော့မှာအဲ့ကောင်တွေစတတ်မှာအဲ့တော့တေးကြတယ်အဲ့နားလောက်မှာကေးကနည်းနည်းမြန်မြန်လေးစပေါ်မှာဂျားထဲမှာ2 digit ကေးတော့မြင်ရဖို့မလွယ်ဘူး
6-minute power rune will count for a lot here. I kind of expect both teams to send all their supports mid and look for this, particularly Extreme Gaming. They really need the power runes on the Storm to sort of accelerate the skirmish power here.
Unfortunately, they kind of have the advantage here, being able to play both sides. Nothing to say. Does manage to get it, though. Wow. Grab the haste rune ahead of both Sage and GBK jumping back into the remnant for him.
It's probably the biggest play of the game so far.
Yeah, seriously.
That's a nice rune to pick up, a great one to take away from the Ember.
Arguably
uses the haste better than the Storm Spirit, but Storm happy to collect the resources here. And Almay just gonna meta top, start swinging on this tower with a catapult.
XXS gonna rotate. Taking some damage here, but he still has a Lotus and a healing salve in his back pocket, so.
Also got the early Polywog charm for FY, giving you a little extra regen down here to play. Benefit of the Mirana being able to.
ဘာချမှာကေးရလားလို့အခုချိန်မှာတော့ချမနေနဲ့တော့ဘာမှမချနဲ့တော့ဒီတိုင်းသာထိုင်ကြည့်ရ
Let's see what an NTS can do with the haste rune. He's going to place the obs behind the tower. Does get scanned. BB team reading this move. And a lot of times in these types of slow games, it's pretty easy to read these moves. Though they linger around here.
And Heritage still going to be spotted here. The Remnant doesn't do the damage to the Phantom Lancer hero. Second Remnant lands. And they're splitting up their damage here. Not sure.
ပြောတယ်အဲ့ haze က short ရှိရဲ့
Very easy kill. Yeah, it's surprising.
I didn't
expect the Storm Spirit to make that large of a wraparound. They expected him to just go straight to the tower, but he spots the PL. They get the Kataomi kill as well.
Double
Great
kill.
Rotation. I mean, that's 2 galvanized stacks for you.
That's huge. Every time you can translate these power runes on the Storm into some sort of momentum on the map, it buys you so much time, particularly if it's against the PL. And not only are you accelerating your Storm, you're slowing down BB team's win condition here. You're going to take his tower off that move as well. Very influential. And yeah, as you mentioned, I feel like BB team just kind of gave it to him. Like, they scanned it and then they lingered there and nobody TP'd. There was no sort of move from GPK to counterplay this. I think that's a move you could turn around with an Ember rotation. Instead, you just kind of give it to XG. Most of it.
Yeah, come on,
but the rotations are already coming in from Extreme. A Doom placed on a GPK, so he not only isn't going to die, but they're going to pick up another 2 kills.
Oh, you didn't know what I
like this is just a bit slow and sloppy for BB team. It feels like they haven't woken up yet.
Nice moves.
I love you saying with that.
In the right place at the right time. But it definitely feels a little clunky from BB. We normally don't
see find ကြမှာကောင်းပါလားနော် quarter final တိတ်မမှန်စပိန်ဘယ်ဂျီယန်လည်းတိတ်စိတ်ဝင်စားနော်ဝေးအင်္ဂလန်လည်းတိတ်စိတ်ဝင်စားပြီးတော့အချိန်ကြီးလည်း1နာရီခွဲ3နာရီခွဲအဲ့ဒါကြီးလည်းမမှန်အာဂျင်တီးနားဆွင်ဇလန်9နာရီခွဲတယ်မနက်9နာရီခွဲနဲ့တူတယ်နော်အဲ့ဒါတော့မစိုးအဲ့ဒါတော့ကြည့်လို့ရတယ်
in
Well,
the
you did
business
that.
earlier.
You bet can
Will
GM.
finally
Tight
get
then.
the kill on Nova, so at least he gets
GG.
a bit of revenge.
Some earn charges as well. Very nice for him.
Yeah, very important. A lot of attention though to mid and bottom, and the one who's most happy with that is good old Ame. Hard carry Ame on Terror Blade.
လုံးစကားနဲ့ဆိုဟုတ်တယ်
CS right now.
Prime Browser မှာလည်း TI Browser TI ညမှာ
Decent experience because
ဘာလို့ TI ကတော့ clean fee ရဖို့တေးကြတယ်လေ
gonna be able to pull waves with illusions.
ဒီ EWC ပြီးရင်ပဲ TI လာပါပြီဂျားမှာဘာပွဲမှမရှိတော့ဘူး
Play lane
TI မှာ
once
အဲ့လိုပဲအပိုင်ပြောရ
because
တာ
you don't have very fast damage.
TI ညမှာတွေ့ပါမယ်
Inside.
He
I
can.
feel like most of the time he's going to be able to get off asunder, right? Nice body blocking with the illusion. See if that extra damage actually mounts up enough for them to go for the kill. These constant slows looks like it's good enough. So another good pick off for
TI watch body ရောစိတ်ဝင်စားကြလားဘောလာတို့လောက်ပါ
Chase down there for
Bro.
success. He doesn't want to TP.
ဘာလို့စိတ်ဝင်စားနေဆိုလို့ရှင်တော့
Masters, he makes the right call. Would have gotten canceled.
Watch body လေး
Oh, we got hit by an arrow. Nightmare arrow. Is it enough though? Not quite. Had a ton of magic wand charges. That is the only thing that keeps him from death.
We'll be able to heal and get back here for the power room contest. So honestly, he got some decent spells out of XG going into this next objective here. See if he can snag one.
7 minute 6တော့ကြည့်ရတယ်နည်းများတယ်ကွာငါသိမကြိုက်
Play for bottom. Extreme. Hoping it's top, and it's an arcane rune top.
Damn.
The best of all the runes for both
ဒီ
these
ဆိုဒီချင်းက
heroes.
3កောင်4កောင်လောက်ပဲရှိရ
Getting
Chog on.
the better
Nene
of
miyane.
more.
Man, if he
The
could
first
hold
one
on to
pretty well.
this, farm up neutrals, complete his Kaya, and then make a rotation rune with. Well, he's gonna pop it now, actually. But I was thinking, you know, you get that Kaya and then pop
Hold
the
up,
arcane
yeah.
rune, make a big play.
မလာဘဲနဲ့မြောက်ဝေး
I would like to see them make some objective-based play with this rune. I think it's really strong here. Again, Storm is really good against the BB supports, especially in the early game before they have all the ults online. You're still missing Curse.
Yeah, you could make a move to your Terror Blade. He could take that tower easy.
Oh, absolutely. You're not worried about Largo doing anything to your Storm here.
Hell.
And it will free up some space.
TI final နေ့က23ရက်နေ့
Chilling in his bottom.
တရုတ်မှာဆိုတော့နေ့လယ်စ
Seems the natural place
12နာရီလောက်စ
running into the Ember mid is pretty difficult.
ဘတ်ဆော့ဖိုက်အပြည့်ဆော့ရင်ညနေ9နာရီ6နာရီလောက်ပြီးမယ်6နာရီကျရင်ဘာလာမလဲဆိုလို့ရှိရင်မန်ယူဝဲလာမယ်
DPS here.
ဘာလို့အဲ့နေ့က Premier League ပြန်စမှာတနင်္ဂနွေ
He
နေ့
has another catapult up here. Yeah, he's just going to drop the meta.
အဲ့တော့ TI final ပြီးလို့ရှိရင်မန်ယူဝဲဆက်ကြည့်လို့ရတယ်
I don't think anyone wants to really go up here. It would have to be the Ember, and the Ember is currently smoking bottom. This is a peculiar play. I'm not sure why they
TI final လည်းကြည့်
did
ကျင်တယ်
a lot of
မန်ယူဝဲလည်းဆက်ကြည့်မယ်ဆိုရင်တော့ share ပဲ
blocked by FY anyway, but even if this game connected on the Doom, is Doom the biggest target in this game right now?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think he's exerting any
ပြီးခဲ့
pressure.
တဲ့ကလည်းလာ
I
လာ
think both
okay ဗျာ
Structured and TB at this point are more important.
I agree. So Ame gets a free tower, and now look at this. He's going to swing behind mid with the same meta. Maximum.
ဆိုင်လေးလိုက်ကြည့်နေလောလောဆယ်ရန်ကင်းရဆိုင်ဟုတ်တယ်ဟောရန်ကင်းတော့မဟုတ်ပါရမီ
Really good BB team.
ပါရမီရဆိုင်လေးတစ်ဆိုင်
So much
so
ground here. A lot of map control being given up, a lot of net worth lead being given to Extreme.
ဟိုဘက်ဒီဘက်လည်းနည်းနည်းမျှသူခံတာမျိုးတဲ့ဘက်လာတဲ့သူတွေလည်းအရင်မဝေးဘူး
Probably all gonna stick around for a 12-minute
ပြမြောက်ကလာပြီးပါညာအင်းစိန်နေလှိုင်နေပါလာမယ်ဆိုတော့မဝေးလာ
Ame's creating this game with the
အလေလောင်အလေမရောက်တဲ့အောင်လေးတော့ကြပါဘူး
secure more power runes for Storm. This one's just guaranteed because you can't get the lane up far enough. And it means Ame can join earlier fights as you have more angles to
တို့တော့
connect.
လုံးဖြစ်မှာပါသိရ
This is the type of
Although,
game you want to play.
ကိုကန်ကလည်းဒီတိုင်းတုံးနေကြ
with
လို့သူတို့ကလည်း
disadvantage
လုံးချင်
carry
တယ်
matchups. You don't want to just perma AFK. Yeah, he's 0-0-0, but he has some solid building damage under his belt. That counts for a lot here.
If I'm BB team, I'm already talking about
လာတော့ပေါ့ဗျာ
okay,
နော်
are we gonna defend
10ရောက်လာ
with
10ရောက်
two
ရောက်
shots
20လာရောက်
in
20
2 minutes, or are we gonna try and take theirs? Because I feel like Extreme Gaming, they're in a good enough
လုံးဖတ်နေ
position,
လား
right?
မဖတ်ဘူးနော်ပုံမှန်ပဲ
Taking all the tier 1 towers, they're gonna have another meta up. They're gonna have this power rune holding in the storm.
ဒါပေမဲ့ stone နဲ့ဟိုကောင်နဲ့အဆင်ပြေ
right?
Terror Blade နဲ့
I feel like they could just kind of keep forcing things, force objectives.
You have to
ဒီနေ့တည်းမလာလိုက်ရအောင်ဒီနေ့အဆင်ပြေလာမယ်လာပါဗျာဖိတ်ခေါ်ပါ
Maybe Ember can play
လုပ်ဖြစ်မှာပါကျွန်တော်တို့
but you're worried about getting slept or gripped into arrow this game.
Right.
ဟုတ်တယ်နေ့လည်းပဲဆိုတော့အဆင်ပြေရလေ
The bait setup's really scary for GPK to play aggressive. So
ပြီးခဲ့တဲ့နှစ်ကတော့မှညမိုးချုံမှပြီးတော့
XG
ပြန်လာပြူလာရွာညာရ
can test that.
ယောက်ျားလေးတွေလည်းဖြစ်တော့
Storm Spirit going in there
ကျွန်တော်တို့ဘာမှတေချာမစီစဉ်ပေးနိုင်ဘူးဒီနေ့ကတော့ AC ပဲညနေပြီးမှာ
into BB side of the map when they have so much turnaround potential. Both
Be
teams
mindful, let's
managing
adjust.
overextension out of these two Spirit mid laners. There's the hammer. I don't know if Miro's going to get a lot of tower damage value out of it. Pretty hard for him to push far up top, but he can definitely farm. You know, missed wheel. I
မနေ့ကဆို project တာလည်းသိမမှန်
That is a prayer right there against a Mirage.
project တာနဲ့တိတ်ကြည့်လို့အဆင်မပြေဘူးအဲ့တော့ဒီနေ့ကတော့ဟို LED TV ကြီးတွေရှိတဲ့ဥစ္စာကြီး LED ပုတ်ကြီးတွေရှိတဲ့အဆိုင်တွေလိုက်ချတာ
Only two heroes down.
I signed him
Just
up.
get out with both the remnant and the unicycle.
ဘယ်နေရာလှမ်းကြည့်ကြည်လင်း
Living his best
ပြတ်သားနေအောင်
Yeah. He's got the new set as well.
He's chilling. Yeah, that spell was fun.
Very good addition to the game.
ဟုတ်တယ်ပြီးခဲ့တဲ့နှစ်ကရန်ကင်းမှာဒီနှစ်ကတော့ပါရမီပဲရောက်သွားပြီပါရမီဆိုအဲ့ဒါဘယ်တဲ့ရောက်သွားမလဲ
Playing for another power
မရန်ကုန်နဲ့ရောက်သွားမလား
Okay.
တောင်းကလာတဲ့ရောက်သွားမလားဘယ်တဲ့ရောက်သွားမလဲမသိ
Nope.
Well, luck is not on their side in this one.
And BB team have guessed wrong every single time.
อืม
Another great
ဒီနေ့တော့နေရာပြောင်းလာ
finishes up a Yasha Kaya very
စင်ပြမမဒီနေ့တော့တေးကြလေး
strong, and there's the sleep
အရင်
before this should
ကိုယ်တိုင် research လုပ်ပြီးတော့မှလုပ်မှာ
Dean's Drift, Doom, Arrow.
Yeah.
They have so many options here. They're going to pop 2 of the ultimates to guarantee it.
မတက်ရက်ပြီဒါတက်လိုက်ပါ
It's
တော့
the
ကွာ
risk for GPK in this game. He has to continually push waves, but every initial stun setup is just guaranteed death.
And his supports aren't super mobile, so it's hard
မ
for
တက်
them
ဘူး
to
နော်
like,
ထင်တဲ့အတိုင်းမှာ
work with him.
အရင်ကြီးတော့ကြီးရမတက်ပါ
All the time.
ဘူး10ကောင်ပြေးဖို့တော့မှနှစ်ဖက်လုံး
It has to
Giống
be
chả.
a box that saves you there. Even then, if you're doomed, it's not bailing you out. It's just awkward.
ဒီဘက်ကလည်း drone သုံးမှ finger ဆွဲမှဂေးတကောင်ကတေးကြတဲ့ပုံစံမျိုး
You don't
လောတဲ့ voters လောက်
own the whole game.
remnant လောက်ညှားလေးပြည့်အောင်လောက်နဲ့တေးဖို့ကလွယ်ဘူး
Get forced into the split up action, and actually you can just find little pick.
အားလီမှာ alert voters ကလည်း level နေတာလည်းပါတာပေါ့နော်
More space, always absorbing.
ဒီဘက်ကကျတော့လည်း defensive hero 2ကောင်သုံးထားတယ်ပြီးရင် defensive hero 3ကောင်လို့တော့ပြောလို့ရတယ်ဗျ Rain Master ရယ် Winter Wyvern ရယ် Lago ရယ် Lago ဆိုတော့လည်းသိတဲ့အတိုင်းပဲ timing hero item ရှာရမယ်ပြီးရင်တော့ defensive ဆန်တယ် reaction ပြန်ပေးတာပိုကောင်းတယ်
Being really annoying with these supports
အဲ့တော့မှ Fano Lanza လိုကောင်မျိုးနဲ့တွဲထားတယ်အဲ့တော့ Amber ပစ်ထားတာတော့မှတော်တော်ထူးဆန်းတယ်ပြောရမယ်
in this lower jungle.
ကိုယ့်ဘက်က defensive တွေသုံးဖို့စဉ်းစားထားပြီးတဲ့အချိန်မှာ Amber လိုကောင်မျိုးထွက်လာတော့ Amber ကြီးအားနေတာပေါ့လိုက်တက်တော့လေသူကောင်တယောက်တည်းဖြစ်နေတယ် support 2ကောင်က damage လိုက်မထုတ်ပေးနိုင်ဘူး
That's 3 heroes in a part of the map that's not doing a lot for BB team. I'm okay with that depth.
မတက်ပဲထိုင်စားတော့လည်းမကောင်းဘူးအဲ့လိုပုံစံကြီးဖြစ်
Deny the
အဲ့မှာပြောမှသာပြီးတော့ 7% ကြားသွားပြီဆိုတော့
so.
နာနော်ဘီရောနာတော့စသေးသွားပြီ
Quick smoke up from BB.
ဒါမှမဟုတ်ဘာနဲ့လောက်မလဲ save ရဲ့ဟို tame the beast team မှာတော့လောက်မယ်ဗျာနော်
Successfully.
ကြာဖို့ရိုက်တာလေ
They might be
ဒါကလေးပြစ်ကြာဖို့လေးရိုက်ပြီးဟိုကကျတော့ spinner blast လေးကိုတင်တာ spinner blast လေးကို amber ကိုလှမ်းပြစ်
Very heads up scan.
အဲ့ဒါဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ tame the beast ကလည်း damage 300လောက် spinner blast ကလည်း damage 300လောက်ဒီကောင်ရဲ့ separate vessel ရဲ့ fixie iron chain ရဲ့ remnant ရဲ့ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့အေးပေါ့သွေး1000နာပတ်ချလဲရှိတဲ့ကောင်တွေတော့ဒီကောင်တွေလိုက်တက်လို့တော့ကောင်းမယ်အဲ drone ဆိုရင်တော့တိတ်မလွယ်ချင်ဘူး drone က match 1လည်းရှိတယ် load တက်လည်းရှိတယ်သွေးကလည်း1800လောက်ဆိုတော့ drone တော့မလွယ်ဘူးပြီးရင်ခုနက spare တွေထဲမှာ disable လို့ပြောရမယ်ဆိုရင် sharing chain နဲ့ tame the beast လောက်နဲ့ပဲရှိတာဆိုတော့ terrorblade လို့ကောင်းမျိုးကိုသွားတက်ဖို့ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်လည်းစန္ဒပြန်ထွက်မှာမလွယ်ဘူး
Maintaining a good spread.
stone ကတော့ maybe ဖြစ်နိုင်တယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ stone တစ်ကောင်ထဲမှာပဲ
Not too afraid of getting cursed. It's going to set up some other abilities though. Do they have any saves to bail out the team? It's going to be all
ပြီးတော့ wonder နဲ့ဆိုတော့ quality ဖြစ်သွားတယ်
Okay.
ဟိုကောင်မကယ်နိုင်ဘူးเนาะဘိန်းရန်ဘေးကနေ
Had a terrible misread of that situation. I think in part
အေးပေါ့သူကယ်ဖို့နည်းနည်းရှေ့တိုးသွားရင်ဒီကောင်ဝင်နာကဆိုရပါသွားမှာနော်
I
အားကြောင့်လည်းစင်မပြေပြန်
because he had a shielder and it just disappeared.
Yes, it does still do it. Did they ever remove it? I mean, it doesn't say.
I mean, either way, the setup, even with a shield rune, I feel like the setup.
အားကြောင့် extreme ကကြွရတာပါကွာနော်ဒီ minute ဒီလိုအပိုင်းခြားကာလမှာဒီတိုင်း sub fan နေရင်တော့မှ terror blade ကအဆင်ပြေတဲ့ဥစ္စာဘာဖြစ်လို့ tier 2 ထိကိုခေါ်လာတာလဲမသိပြီးတော့16 minute နာပတ်ချလဲဆိုတာတကယ်တမ်းဆိုရင်အမစ်က tier 2တက်စားလို့ရှိရင်ဒီ side lane တွေက tier 2တွေကိုပဲအဓိကထားပြီးချိုးရမှာအထူးသဖြင့်တော့ Daya ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အောက်လမ်းကိုသွားချိုး Radiant ဆိုအပေါ်လမ်းကိုသွားချိုး
Like, you don't have a
Hello,
way to
Fiamma.
bail anybody out from that type of play in this game. What, sleep save? You can't sleep save against wheel. It's almost impossible. So that was a very suspicious play, but
ကိုဘက်ကဟိုဗာလဲ Radiant ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့
Doesn't say it on the
ဒီ
ability.
ပေါ် Daya လည်းအပေါ်သွားချိုးတာတော့ကောင်းတော့ကောင်း
I wonder if they
ဘာလို့
actually
မိနစ်20နားကြလို့ရှိရင်
converted that spell.
ဟိုကောင်က
Yeah.
Just forgot it.
တော်မန်တာအောက်မှာပေါ်မှာနော်အဲ့တော့19မိနစ်နားလောက်ပတ်ချလိုက်မှာအပေါ်သွားချိုး
Katomi.
အပေါ် reaction ပြန်လို့ TV တွေတုံးထားတာသိပြီဆိုတော့မှ
That just sets up the arrow. Team is coming in. They're not going to be able to save the Winter Wyvern. Can they get a kill for this anywhere? Keratin's actually going to join in. FY already making a leap away. GPK in deep, trying to dodge the
လုံး
Doom.
လုံးဝအထက်မခံတော့ကွာကောင်းလိုက်တော့ကွာ GPK ရောအဲ့ဒါကြီးရော
Plus the meteor lands on
ဟို GPK ကျင်းနေရောကြီးဆော့တော့တာ
slowed down. He can't get out of the meteor. And another good fight.
နော်ဟိုကောင်လက်ပဲပေးမြောက်တယ်တကယ်ပေးမထည့်
Wyvern for a Doom.
And the issue is PL showing up there. causing too much.
Oh, face 2 ရတယ် random သုံးသွားတာလေစောင်းရမ်းကောင်းတယ်ကွာအဲ့ဒါကြီးကြတော့လေ
target. Just very hard to control Kiritich in this game. We're already seeing the problems.
ပြန်ပြပါလားကွာအဲ့နာလေးဟိုလက်လေးလက်ကို3ခါလောက်မြှောက်လိုက်ရတယ်တကယ်မထည့်လိုက်ရ
Not to mention, there's a Largo in this game. Like, you can eventually have Encore, Lotus, Lincolns for the Doom. Yeah, he eventually wants to go the Ags at some point anyway, but it's a great Lotus Lincoln's game.
အဲ့တော့ disable အားနေလို့နော် crowd control ability တကွက်လောက်သာပါတယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ခုနနေရာမှာ stone အောင်တော့ရောက်သွားနိုင်တယ်
Like, there are some big spells to block here from here with this build up. I kind of like it. It can be a little awkward to throw these on the PL because you're kind of revealing the real PL. Sure. That's the only downside here. But at a certain point, I think Kiritich will be so strong it doesn't really matter. You can also just throw it on the Ember Spirit, let him go ham on the front line. It'll be a Lincoln's first item for GBK. Vessel Lincoln Spear. So
Vexnova doesn't quite get the nightmare that would have led to Miro's death.
ဖြည့်မယ်
I think BB
ထုံး
is
မယ်
addressing the threats on the map right now.
ခဏလေးနော်
They get these single spell block items up, particularly for GBK. He's going to be able to push lanes a lot more aggressively. Is there a response available for XG? It's just kind of more setup threat, like I don't know, Yule Scepters or something like this. You can pop a Lincoln's and sleep a guy. It's not that straightforward though. I guess Ags for Storm, Ags for Doom as we scale more and more here.
This because they don't have very good Phantom Lancer answers. This first big item for Phantom Lancer, I feel like it's going to change team fights. The Aghanim Scepter creates so many illusions. This is going to be a big issue for Extreme.
The range on this is also just really stupid.
really stupid ဘာလို့ပြောရလဲကိုရောလေးကြောင်တာမိနစ်20ကို12ကောင်တော့ 3k ဟိုလင်ကြီးမှာပါလာပြီဟာ
Game is definitely going to be a slow one for XG.
ကိုနေဘယ်ပွဲလဲကွာလင်ကြီးမထည့်သွားတဲ့ပွဲအဲ့ပွဲကပြန်3ရသွားပြီ
NTS still asserting himself on the map, up to 11 galvanized stacks. I mean, he's having a great game here.
ဘယ်ဆောက်ယူလဲလင်ကြီးမထည့်သွား
A
တာ
couple of slip-ups, but they can't afford to let that slow them down, right?
No.
They got to keep just going for it. Tormentor time.
ဒီရှာလားဟုတ်ပါ
Pretty fast here. Not the greatest shards to get. You're like
Marine လို့အော်ဟုတ်တာပဲဖဲကွန်
pretty mediocre here.
I feel like getting some AoE off of Brain Sap isn't the worst in this game.
Yeah, you can.
Every bit of AoE you can get is good.
That's not
also
what
suck
you
all the
do. That's not
illusions.
what
It's
you
a
do.
pretty big heal. So in some
ဒီတော့စောမှာလာကြည့်လို့ရပြီ okay ဗျာလေဂိမ်းဘယ်သူကောင်းလဲဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ Final Lancer နဲ့ Terra Blade နဲ့ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ကျွန်တော် Final Lancer ကြိုက်တယ်ဘာလို့လဲဆိုတော့ Terra Blade ကကျွန်တော်တို့ခဏခဏပြောနေကြဒီကောင်တွေကဟိုမတောင်ဘိုးစစ်ပေါ့နော် Terra Blade တို့ Dragon Knight တို့ Lycan တို့အဲ့လိုကောင်တွေက found မိခိုးရတဲ့ကောင်တွေအဲ found မရှိတဲ့အချိန်မှာဘိုင်ဘတ်ထုတ်ရတဲ့အချိန်တွေပါညာဆိုပြဿနာတက်သွားနိုင်တယ်အဲ့တော့အဲ့လို hero တွေကသူအဝင်ခွင့်ကြဖြစ်ပြီးတော့လေဂိမ်းကျန်းသွားတာမျိုးလည်း maybe ဖြစ်ကောင်းဖြစ်နိုင်တယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ဒီဘက်က Yo-Yo carry နဲ့ရှင်တော့ကျွန်တော်ကတော့ Yo-Yo carry ကိုကြိုက်တယ်ပေါ့နော်
Simultaneously, it's also going to be a big
Glimmer Gate ကကလုတ်မပါပဲမဲ့ဟို align ကိုတင်တဲ့အချိန်မှာဒီကောင်က magic ရှိပါတယ် magic resistance ဆိုတာတက်ကိုစီမှာ magic resistance တစ်ချိန်လုံးရှိနေဆိုတော့ဒီကောင်ပေးလိုက်တဲ့အချိန်မှာပျောက်လဲပျောက်တယ် magic ရှိလဲပါတယ်အဲ့ဒါကြီးကတန်နေတော့မယ်ပေါ့နော် support တွေတော့ကတော့
but I highly
Send me
doubt
out,
that's
man.
the original game plan.
ညောင်ကြီး carry ကဘာကျန်းတာလဲဆိုတော့အထူးသဖြင့် lane strong တာပါအခုနောက်ပိုင်း carry တွေပစ်ကြတဲ့ဥစ္စာတွေအဓိက lane strong တာရယ်ပြီးတော့ကျ mid game တွေပါညာတွေမှာဒါမေထွက်တာတွေပေါ့အဲ့ဒါတွေကိုအဓိကထားပြီးကြည့်ကြတာ
A good enough fight might
ညောင်ကြီး carry ကအထူးသဖြင့်တော့တော်တန် off lane တွေဆိုလို့ရှိရင် melee off lane ဆိုတော်တန်ဝါစားထားလို့ရတယ်တင်မှာစောလောက်ကစ အဲ့တော့ monkey king carry က
gets the blink away though.
အဲ့ဒါလေးထီသွားလေကောင်းပါပြီဟုတ်ပြီပြန်ဆွဲကြော် Dane the beast Final Lancer ပါလာရင်တော့ damage မြင်တဲ့အတိုင်းပဲတော်တော် damage လောက်သွားပါပြီနော်
Just no real counterplay for XXS in this game either. He needs a lot more net worth. Like, you need BKB, you need Shivas, eventually, potentially that Aghanim Scepter to even turn something there.
And there it is. They're going to go for the Roche.
This is not a Roche.
Actually, way faster than I thought.
Now, PL does these objectives pretty well now. You have to contest this if you're Extreme Gaming. I refuse to believe you can just give PL a 23-minute Roshan in this game and be confident in a victory.
They're not even
Marine,
trying to go
Marine,
into the pit.
ပြီးတော့ game 2ကြတော့ထားဆက်ကွာအဲ့တော့နှစ်ကောင်မှာအဲ့ဗာလဲဒွန်းနဲ့နောက်တစ်ကောင်ဘယ်သူလဲမသိဘူး game 1တော့လည်းဒွန်းနဲ့အဲ့ကောင်နဲ့ပဲ game 2ကြတော့လည်းဟိုဘက်ကပစ်သွားတယ်ဒွန်းနဲ့အဲ့ကောင်နဲ့
Fitted for a longer game than if you're Extreme.
Well, now they are.
Yeah.
ဒွန်းနဲ့ဘာနဲ့လဲအဲ့လိုစင်ကတာကတကောင်
You were before, now you are.
အမိတော့ လောက်မှမကြသေး
I
ဘူး
guess it is
Doing a bane
exciting.
of it.
They do kind of always
minute.
tend to go late.
Sure. If they
အော်
can
ဘ
get
ရိုက်တာဟုတ်တယ်အကီတို့ဟုတ်ပြီမှတ်မိပြီအကီဒုံးနဲ့ဘရိုက်တာနှစ်ကောင်ပါတော့ game 1တော့ကျတော့မထည့်ဘူး game 2လည်းကြောက် link နေစားထည့်
AoE vortex pull,
အသေးတွေရလိုက်တာ
load bounces,
Asprey နဲ့မှတ်မိပြီ
with
game
some
1
AoE doom radiance. Like, there's a chance you can kind of like burn this PL down initially and force him to disengage and then run the fight over that way. Maybe
Well,
start
yeah.
assassinating people with some
ကိုက
sort of link
တော့တော့ကြောက်တော့တာနေတော့မှနော်ဒုံးကြောင်နဲ့တူပါ
That's what you kind of have to be gearing up for.
What do you think about him going back to an Orchid? That's a kind of an odd one, right? Normally we see like these Pharasma buildups and stuff. Is this about him just killing these save supports at the start,
Yeah.
not letting them get off any defensive abilities?
It's definitely about targeting the backline. I don't like it though because you already have a Glimmer Cape on Wyvern. You're going to have a second Glimmer Cape on the Ringmaster. When there's two saving supports, they can bail each other out.
Right.
And you're playing against Largo. Orchid is generally really weak against Largo because he gets effectively double Lotus, double Lincolns at some point.
Yeah.
And he has the catchy lick. So it's like, who are you Orchiding in this game, you know? Basically, it just ups his single target DPS with a Bloodthorn later on if he can isolate a hero on the map.
Yeah, like that for me says they are really going to
အဲ့
be
stream ဘာဖြစ်လို့နားမြင်နေရ
play
လဲ
Rat Dota to split BB team up, so nothing to say can
ကဲ
find
ကောင်အမှတ်မလို့
single
တော့
heroes.
ရှော့မဲထင်တာတကယ်ကျုံးနေတယ်
It is a concept that works against the BB lineup, but it requires you to be able to get these lanes in. And so far, BB have done a decent job just combating these terrible illusions on the map.
အော်ဖဲကောင်နဲ့ဘူအောင်ရင်းပြီးသွားပြီပဲဟုတ်သားပဲ game 1ပြီးသွားပြီ game 1ဘယ်လိုဖြစ်သွားလဲ
Have some support.
31မိနစ်နဲ့ပွဲသိမ်းသွားတယ်30ခွန်10ကောင်ဘူအောင်ရင်းကြာဘူအောင်ရင်းကြာမစွမ်းပါဘူးအဲ့လောက်ကြီးနော်
Nothing to say is doing a good job.
Oh boy.
What a whip! And he
Well,
does actually spot nothing to
Why
say.
you don't TV
so
ပြတ်သွား
nothing
လား
to say is likely dead
Holy man.
here. I mean, the call should be made. All
Darren
the
Chain?
team is going to rotate over. Just surround the
Yeah, bow
area
down.
as they can. Oh, nothing to say. Actually managed to make a long enough run down the river.
He's running.
He's getting some mana back. He might be able to make another small zip. Maybe GPK doesn't see him. Now the Phantom Lancer's going to cut him off.
အော်
He's
ကော
gonna
င်း
get
တော့
one more zip.
ကိုရီဆိုအဲ့လိုချုပ်ရင်လေတဲ့
Enough, so.
အဲ့လိုတကောင်နဲ့ပြေးနေတဲ့ကောင်ပြီးရင်ဝေးရလဲဝေးသေးတယ်တကောင်နဲ့လည်းဖြစ်နေတယ်ဆိုတော့ကောင်မျိုး fist toby CR chain လမ်းချုပ်လို့ရှိရင်ကိုရီဆိုလုံးဝမထိဘူး
So that's a lot of
ဟို
good going to
10ခါလောက်သုံးမှ2ခါ3ခါလောက်ထိတယ်ဆိုတော့ပုံစံမျိုးသိမလား
happen. Do
အခု
whatever you want right now.
ရှိမှမင်းရှိမှပြေးနေတယ်မင်းအခုသုံးတာထိမှမင်းအဲ့ကောင်တေမှာဆိုတဲ့ပုံစံမျိုးကြားလို့ရှိရင်တကယ်အမဘန်းနေမခံနိုင်ဘူးအမမခံနိုင် မထိဘူးများ ကွာနော်အဲ့လိုမျိုးအဲ့ဒါကြီးကွာလို့လေအေးပေါ့ငါ 4K မှာဖြစ်နေရောဒီကောင်နဲ့16000လောက်တွေဖြစ် extreme အကျုံးခံဖို့စောင့်ပေးနေသူပဲအမှန်ပဲဘာပြော KNR လေးကတော့မစိုးပါဘူးเนาะ26မိနစ်ကို15ကောင်ဒါပေမဲ့အဲ့ဒါမှ network ကextreme ဘက်မှာဖြစ်ဖြစ်ဘဘုံဘက်မှာဖြစ်ဖြစ် 10k လောက်ဖြစ်နေမယ်ဆိုပူကောင်းတယ်15ကောင်လောက်နဲ့ 10k လောက်ဆိုအဲ့ဒါသိကြပြီ KNR ဖြစ်ဖို့ chance ကစောင့်ရများသွားပြီသူကတော့နည်းနည်းလေး E လဲလဲဖြစ်နေတာပေါ့နော် light တက်တဲ့သူကဘဘုံဖြစ်ပြီးတော့ network တာတဲ့သူကကျတော့ extreme ဖြစ်နေတော့အဲ့တော့နည်းနည်းလေး E လဲလဲလေးဖြစ်နေတယ် ဟိုဒွန်းစားတာကြောင့်လည်းပါတယ် Terrorblade က farming ကောင်းနေတာကြောင့်လည်းပါတာပေါ့နော်ပြီး Mirana တို့ဘာတို့ကလည်းပါတော့သိရတဲ့အတိုင်းပဲ Mirana တို့ဘာတို့က mana သာလောက်နေမယ်ဆို Star Strong လေးသုံးပြီးတော့တောက်လျှောက်တွေ fan တာ farming တောင်း
Kind of negligible.
အဲ့ဒါမှဒီကောင် Scepter သွားနေသေးတယ် Scepter ပါထက်ရသွားပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒီကောင်ရဲ့
To the talents.
farming လေးတွေကလည်းပို့ပြီးတော့ support တွေကြားထဲမှာတိတိတတ်တာလေးကွာလာမယ်ပေါ့နော်
During cooldown reduction on like the triple arrow
ဒါပေမဲ့ Critics ကလည်း strong ပါ
cooldown. It can be obnoxious in the late game.
Critics ကလည်းသူကနဲ့ကတိုးလေးကျန်းနေတာဗျာသိလားဒီကောင်လည်းနည်းနည်း underrated ပုံစံမျိုးဖြစ်နေတယ်တတိမထားမိပဲနဲ့ကောင်းနေတဲ့ carry ငြိမ်နေတဲ့ carry လို့တော့ပြောလို့ရအားမေလို့ဘာလို့ထပ်တော့မှဒီကောင်ပိုငြိမ်အောင်မယ်
For the late game here. Gonna get some tower damage bottom.
ဒါတိုရိုစစ်တန်နစ်တို့ဘာလို့ပြီးလို့ရှိရင်
Knocking on the door. Anybody
ဒီကောင် Mickey နဲ့မတိမ်မကြီးလောက်တော့သွားကြမလားမသိ
Force BB team back to their base. That is a lot of map that you get for every single hero.
ထိတ်တန်း carry တွေ1 to 10ဆင်လိုက်မယ်ဆိုဒီကောင်နည်းနည်းအလဲလောက်မှာပေါ့6ခွန်လောက်မှာဒီကောင်ထားလို့ရလောက်တယ် critics ကိုလေ
This side of the map, so
အော် carry လေးလည်းမ
as
စိုး
they
hero pool လေးလည်းမစိုး
here and push out, there may be an opportunity for an initiation.
They're farming well, and they're not making bad moves. I think it's very easy to force some bad move in a game like this. Like, oh, we need to try and smoke and kill Phantom Lancer's lane.
Yeah.
And then you get team wiped and the game becomes impossible. So I like those aspects of what XG are doing right now. And we'll see if it pays off in the long run. Butterfly is done for Kirtich, so this is one of his big timings. Just very hard for the Terrorblade to interact with him.
ဟုတ်တယ် Watson လည်းထည့်ရမယ်ဟုတ်တယ်မှန်တယ်ဗျာဟုတ်တယ်မောင်တန်းစင်စိုးတော့မစိုးဒါပေမဲ့မောင်တန်းစင်ကနည်းနည်း နည်းနည်းဘယ်လိုပြောမလဲနည်းနည်းဖင်ရတယ်ဗျာနည်းနည်းကော်ကီဖြစ်တယ်ဖင်ရတယ်နည်းနည်း aggro များတာလို့ဟို confident များတာလို့ဘယ်လိုမှမသိဘူးဒီကောင်ဆော့တဲ့ပုံစံကဒီကောင်နည်းနည်းစိတ်တော့အားမရသေးဘူးဘယ်လိုပြောမလဲဟို team performance ကောင်းတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့တယောက်တည်းယုံမှာဆိုတဲ့နေရာမှာကျတော့အဲ့လိုယာတူရိုဘာလို့လိုမျိုးယုံနိုင်စွမ်းမှာတော့တိတ်မရှိဘူးလို့ခံစားယုံမှမရှိဘူးပေါ့နော် team carry ပုံစံမျိုးဖြစ်နေ
hoping to catch somebody top, but BB are already smoking bottom themselves. Interesting idea.
I mean, I bet this is just going to turn into extreme trying to take tier 2 top.
ဆိုတော့မဆိုးပါဘူးဒီနေ့ရောမနေ့ကလည်းတနေ့တွေ့ရနော်နည်းနည်း hack carry တွေနည်းနည်းပြန်သုံးကြတယ် hack carry ဆိုတော့ drawing ညာလေးတွေ drawing ညာတော့တွေ့တာများပါတယ်မနေ့ကဆို spatter တွေပါညာတွေပြန်တွေ့တယ်ဒီနေ့ဆိုလည်း terror blade phantom lancer win run SF အဲ့ဒါတွေပဲကင်နေကြတာနေပြီးတော့ဒီဘက် hack carry လေးပဲနည်းနည်းလေးပြန်ရောက်လာဒါတော့မှဟိုဟာတွေပျောက်နေတော့မယ်ဟော7လို့ဘာလို့လဲတွေ့တယ်ဟိုရက်က variation လို့ပါဆိုဆော့ပြီး face love wide ကျကောင်တော့ပြီးဆိုလုံးဝပျောက်ပြီးမတွေ့ရ
Still, they have some good wards here.
Morphling la army ဆော်တယ်နဲ့နော်
But it turns daytime unlucky for X.
ဒီမတွေ့ဘူး face love wide လည်းမတွေ့ဘူးနဲ့ဒီမထားမိ live stream လာတွေ့တယ်မနေ့က
And a shield rune. He's got jacked right now.
Yeah, he is.
အဲ့တော့ကျတော့ Leo Legend လို့ဘာလို့လဲရှင်းလိုက်ကြတော့ကွာသွားပြန်ရောတဲ့ကျွန်တော်ပြီးခဲ့တဲ့တနင်္ဂနွေနေ့ပါနော်ဒီနေ့တောက်ကြဖြစ်နေဆိုလွန်ခဲ့တဲ့9ရက်6ရက်လောက်ကပေါ့တနင်္ဂနွေလောက်တော့အဲ့မှာတတူတော့ထိုးနေအဲ့တတူစတူဒီယိုကတတူဆရာပေါ့နော်ထိုးတဲ့သူက artist ပေါ့ artist ကဟိုကသူက dota 2တွေပါညာလည်းကြည့်တယ်ကျွန်တော်တို့လည်းသိတယ်သူစီမှာအဲ့ mobile နဲ့ညာဖြစ်တယ် Leo Legend ပွဲလာနေတာT1 တို့ဘာလို့ဖြစ်မယ်တူတယ် T1 တို့ဘာလဲဟန်ဝါလား HNW မသိဘူးအဲ့ gaming ဆိုတဲ့ကောင်ကြီးရယ်ပြီးတော့ဘသူထားပါတော့အဲ့မှာနှစ်ပွဲသုံးပွဲကြီးပြတယ်ပေါ့ဗျာ Leo Legend ကြီးလိုက်တဲ့အချိန်ကျတော့ဘာသွားသတိထားမိလဲဆိုတော့ဟို Best of 5 series လာသူတို့ဆော့ရတာအဲ့မှာ၄ပွဲလောက်ရောက်တဲ့အထိကို hero တော်တော်ဆုံးဆုံးလေးမြင်ရတယ်ပြောမှဆို၄ပွဲကိုတစ်ဖက်ထဲရကြီးပဲအကောင့်20နီးပါးလောက်ကိုပစ်တယ်ဒီ game 1 5កောင်နဲ့ game 2 5កောင်နဲ့မတူတော့ဘူးအပြင် game 3 ကြလို့ရှိရင်လည်းမတူတော့ဘူး2လည်းတစ်កောင်လောက်ပဲ2កောင်လောက်ပဲကျန်တဲ့3កောင်လောက်ကကွဲထွက် game 4လောက်ထိရောက်သွားတဲ့အချိန်မှာ secret ပွဲဟုတ်တယ် secret လည်းပါတယ် game 4လောက်ရောက်သွားတဲ့အချိန်မှာ hero pick ကပြောမှဆို18កောင်လောက်ကိုရှိတယ်
Yeah, the amount of damage they've done to these tier 3s is kind of crazy.
That's value.
ကိုဒီမှာဆိုကြည့်လိုက်မယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒါတွေပဲကြည့်လိုက်ကလောဝဘေးတည်ရမလားAmber separate family တက်လာမယ် Amber ဘာညာ Best of 3 series ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်လည်းဒီတစ်ဖက်ကဆော့သွားရင်ဒီ hero တွေပဲအဲ့လိုတွေများ
That was a crazy move. What was that? I don't know, but he's going to zip back out. He's probably going to be chased down by GPK. He needs the
Best of 3 series တခုမှာဘယ်လောက်ရှိလဲဟောလောက်ပဲရှိတယ်
That was
5កောင်မှာ10កောင်လောက်ပဲရှိမယ်ကျွန်တော်စိတ်
they were smoking to take a fight. So that kind of just ruined your idea of taking a fight.
อ๋อ game 1 hero တော့ထပ်ပစ်လို့မရဘူးဩ
Okay, very weird sequence for extreme gaming.
အဲ့ဒါမိုက်တာပေါ့နော်အဲ့ဒါမိုက်တယ်အဲ့စနစ်ကတကယ်မိုက်တယ်တကယ်မိုက်တယ်ဟုတ်ပြင်းစရာယူရတယ်ဒီမှာဆိုကြည့်ပြင်းစရာအခုဒီ hero 10កောင်မှတ်တာကျင်းသေးပါအဲ့မှာဟိုဟာပြန်ပါလိမ့်မယ်အဲ့မှာ Bane တို့ပြီးတော့ Stone Separate တို့ Amber တို့အဲ့ကောင်3កောင်လောက်ကအဲ့ Ring Monster တို့ Lago တို့အဲ့ကောင်တွေပြန်ဝင်လာအောင်ပါ
You really had to bring that up, huh?
Well, I'm just saying.
တော့ drop ကို9កောင်လုံးချိန်သွားတယ်ဆိုတာမျိုးအဲ့ဒါမျိုးမဟာတော့
He's vibing this game. 0-1 and 0, that's Ame in prime.
อ๋อအဲ့လိုကအဲ့လို rules ရှိတယ်လားဟာလား game 1မှာဆော့ထားတဲ့9កောင် game 2မှာလုံးဝပြန်မဆော့ game 3ရောက်မှ game 1တော့ကောင်ပြန်ဆော့ရင်ဆော့ပေါ့နော်မိုက်တယ်အဲ့စီကသဘောကျ
Bad action. The tier 3 bottom.
Almost dead. The illusions, they're going to get it. Okay.
okay တာဝါကျိုးရပြန်ပြီ
That GPK, you can do nothing to defend against the onslaught that is the Ame PvE.
Okay, so
မိုက်တယ်အဲ့စနစ်တကယ်မိုက်တယ်အဲ့ဒါမျိုးလေးခက်စင်စင်ပုံစံမျိုးလေးတစ်ခုလေးလုပ်ပေးကောင်းခုနောက်ပိုင်းဒီ hero တွေပဲမြင်နေwin run shadowing win run shadow မနေ့ကတနေ့ကဆိုကြည့်လိုက်win run shadowing ပြင်းလာလို့ကြည့်နေ
so you're not trading a
အဲ့လိုကြည့်ကြတော့လေ
How do you
တခါလာရင်မကလော့ဝတ် first bit ပြီးရင် shadow fee
be in their base and take a 5-on-5?
ပြီး aspirate ဒါတွေပဲလား
Kind of deal with the lanes and still join the fight.
So everyone's going to have to take some risks.
Yeah, maybe get an extra boost to try to get somebody like the Wyvern or Ring, so you can camp him and then also go.
Trying to get nothing to say. Zips far enough away.
Yeah, good luck on that one.
Yeah.
It is a little spooky. Like,
Good
he
way.
wants to push out the bottom wave, accept the PL solo.
ထိတ်ဆုံး
Getting slept into
ထိတ်ဆုံး10ကောင်ပြောပါဆို aspirate ကလော့ဝတ်ဟူဝင် shadow fee amber winran bane lago ring master as တဲ့
really fast.
အဲ့ထိတ်ဆုံး
find a pick off.
ထိတ်ဆုံးပစ်10ကောင်ပေါ့နော်အခုလက်ရှိ EWC မှာပစ်နေကြတဲ့ကောင်
So
တွေ
that's something. There's an amp damage in the river.
Well, this
အဲ့မှာ1 to 5ကပါရလဲဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ခုနပြောတဲ့ aspirate ကလော့ဝတ်ဟူဝင် shadow fee amber
make the move
ဒါတွေပဲပစ်နေတာပဲအားရှိ6ဆိုတာ drop စတဲ့ကလော့ဝတ် aspirate drop စတဲ့ကလော့ဝတ်
Should have
aspirate
a window here where you can push, potentially hit high ground if you're confident enough. Especially with amp damage on GPK, that's a big moment to just force the fight.
ဘင်းကိုမုန်းလာပြီအတူတူပဲစစ်ရေး
Okay to also just trade some
ဘင်း
buildings.
ကိုမကြည့်ချင်တော့
Like if you just send it down mid, yeah, maybe.
ဘင်းပစ်တာလို့ဒီဘက်ကဘင်းကိုကောင်တာတဲ့ hero တွေဘာလို့အများထွက်မလဲဆို silence ထွက်မထွက် ring master ဒါပဲအချိန်တန်လာ
He has to come back at some point. Like I
ဒီ
don't
aspirate တွေကလော့ဝတ်တွေလည်းမကြည့်ချင်တော့တော်သေးတယ်ဒီပွဲမှာပါမလာတာ
and the high ground push ensues. So
မစ်ကိုစုံစုံလင်းလင်းပြန်ပြီးနေ
TV pushing up bottom lane. Top wave is pushing into tier 3s as well. So Extreme Gaming are definitely going to try and trade lanes of barracks here. Or force speed.
အေးနေ trade တယ်ဟာ hero game မယူဘဲနဲ့ lane တွေထိုင် trade နေတာကျေးဇူးတော့တင်ဖို့တော့ကောင်းတယ်နော်အဲ့ဒါလေ KNR သမားတွေတော့သဘောကျစရာကောင်းတဲ့ movement လေးတွေပဲအောက်မှာလည်း Terror Blade ကတော့သူ illusion တွေနဲ့ကြိုးကိုကြိုးစားတယ်ဟိုကောင်တွေကလည်း Aegis Scout တာကြီးအလဲကို plane တလန်းယူသွားတယ်ဘာမှသွေးထက်တန်ယူမရှိဘဲနဲ့အလဲလန်းတလန်းလေးယူပြန်ဆုပ်သွား
see if she can find any jump.
တော့တရားစိတ်ချမ်းသာစရာကောင်းတဲ့ KNR ပွဲလေးတွေပါပဲ
So, not really an OP. Did get a range tracks.
Well, GPK denies.
35မိနစ်ကို18ကောင်ပဲရှိသေးတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ no ကတော့လုံးဝဒီဘက်ရောက်မလာဘူးနော်လုံးဝတင်းခံရတယ်ဟို extreme မှာပဲရှိတယ်
GPK.
Okay, when now the next question is when does Extreme actually want to take a fight? Are they ever going to take a fight? Is it
drop ကျတာနေကမာဖြစ်နေဟုတ်ပါနေကမာတော့မှနည်းနည်း drop လေးစုံသေးတယ်
Let it go.
That is probably your best moment.
official reason မှာကိုကန် line မရသေးဟုတ်ကဲ့
I still think
line မရသေးပါဘူးခင်ဗျာ
influential in this game.
Yeah, he's building a Lincolns instead.
တိုင်းမရသေးလို့ပဲဟုတ်ကဲ့
Committed to
တိုင်းရရင်ပြပါမယ်ခင်ဗျာဟုတ်ကဲ့
I just think the Ag Storm is super beneficial for
ဟို hero အသစ်နဲ့တော့မဆိုင်ဘူးဗျာသိလားအဓိကအစော်နေတဲ့ hero တွေက balance ပြန်ဖြစ်လာအောင်ပြန် strong လာအောင်သူတို့နည်းနည်းကြိုးစားပေးရမှာ
defense capability. Like
So I'm
that
kinda looking for
disable
that.
setting up the Doom initiation would do wonders for you.
I just don't believe in this Ag's doing. Yeah, it's the right item build in some ways.
အမောလည်းခုန
I
လို
just don't think you can have
အာ
it
ရော
the right
balance လောက်ရတာ
way.
ခတ်တယ်ကွာဆိုရင်လေခုနကျွန်တော်ပြောသလိုလီယောလက်ချောင်းတာအာဒီကောင်လေးအဲ့လိုမျိုးကြတော့လေအတူကမခိုးခြင်းဒီကောင်လေးအောက်ကြတယ်ဗာညာဒီကောင်လေးလည်းစင်းစင်းတာအောက်ကြရင်ပြန်ကောက်တင်လိုက်ပေါ့
Okay, so if you don't believe it, what do you give Extreme's chances
အဲ့စနစ်လေးဆိုမစိုး
in this?
မိုက်တယ်လေအနည်းဆုံးတော့ entertainment ဖြစ်တယ်ဗျာအာဒီကောင်လေးမကင်လို့မရတော့
Got him on the
ဘူး
winner's
အိုး winner cast ရသွားပြီအာဝီတော့ winner နောက်ကြ
Unfortunately, the rest of the team couldn't follow it up.
Yeah, no follow-up stun.
Nothing to say. I mean, win or lose, you got to give props to nothing to say. He is really being a thorn in BB Team's side.
He's done his job. Another range tracks died top, by the way.
Yep.
So the ran action is definitely high.
ကဲနောက်တစ်လမ်းရောတွေးထက်တန်ရုံမရှိပဲနဲ့
Nothing stopping BB Team at this point. Like they've taken the tier 2 bottom. Now all of the
ကြည်တစ်ချက်မဖောက်ရပဲနဲ့နောက်တစ်လမ်းရမှာလား
Yeah, GPK killed the next.
အဲဒီတစ်ခါတော့လွယ်လွယ်ကူမပေးချင်တော့ဘူးနဲ့တူပါရဲ့နည်းနည်းလေးတော့ဟိုဘက်ကချောင်းဒီဘက်ကချောင်းလေးတွေတော့လုံနေပြီအစ်စ်ကိုတိပြီဆိုရင် finger လေးများထားဆွဲမလားဒါပေမဲ့ဆွဲလို့တော့မရသေးဘူးဒီဘက်မှာဟိုကောင်ကလာကိုကထောက်ထားတယ်ဆိုတော့အဲ့လာကိုစီကနေပြီးဟိုဖားခုံတာလေးကချက်ချင်းထွက်လာမှာ
So that's his way to try and deal.
Ace Nova position သိပြီလား
Phantom Lancer here with all
ပုံဝင်လာပြီဆွဲတယ်အော်ပုံကွက်တိပဲဒီဘက်ကိုဒွန်းထည့်ပလိုက်ပြီဟာလာကို
from XXS and 2-man stun into a Doom. The Storm Spirits in
အော် GPK strong strong ကြောက်သွားတယ်အဲ့ဒါမြားအပြာချောင်း strong strong အဲ့ဒါမြားစီကနေကြားတယ် strong strong ဖြစ်မယ်
Why trying to roll on out of here? Looks like the Phantom Lancer is going to hunt him down.
Okay ဒွန်းလဲရှော့ဟုတ်ပြီ GPK ဘိုင်ဘက်ပြန်ရောက်လာတယ်အဲ့ချိန်မှာ critics က age တက်တက်ကျသွားပြီလားဟာလား Okay အေးစေးဘာမှမလွန်နဲ့တော့ဟိုကောင်နေမတောင်ဟိုးစစ်ကုံသွားပြီမင်းတို့ကြိုက်တာလုပ်လို့ရပြီ
He got Lotus.
ဟိုကောင်တကောင်နဲ့မတောင်ဟိုးစစ်ကြီးနဲ့ဖြစ်နေတာအဲ့ကောင်
That's rough.
ဟိုကောင်လေး၄ကောင်ပြန်ထောက်လာတယ်ဒီကောင်မတောင်ဟိုးစစ်မရှိတော့
Himself with all that network.
အေးစေးဖြစ်သွားပြီ
Yeah, because
Apollon,
he
Apollon.
had like half his
GPK ဘိုင်ဘက်လေးထုတ်တာတန်တော့လောက်စမ်းအပေါ်လန်းလေး
Fast.
Hiroki က38မိနစ်20နဲ့မှ4ကောင်
A lot of the disables went on to the Doom at the end.
ကောင်းတယ်ကွာတော်တော်လေးကုတ်ပြီ
back on nothing to say with the whip also hitting on me at the same time. Actually, the whip almost.
ကျွန်တော်တို့လိုက်ပြီပြင်းတော့ yes ပြီးသွားပြီ GG ယေးကင်းတော့
Chance whatsoever, and the game is
ကဲ
just done.
ဟိုတော့ကိုမပြောဘူးလားဘကုန်းတကယ်စော့ရင်အိမ်စထရင်းကိုအကောင့်40အောက်နဲ့တော့နိုင်တယ်ဆိုအခုဆိုကြည့်အောင်နည်းနည်းလေးပဲရှိတယ်30တောင်မပြည့်
In one fell
ပြီးရင်ဒီနှစ်သိန်းတွေ့ပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အန်နာဝင်နိုင်တဲ့ drop ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အန်နာကိုတစ်ဆုံးယူ over ဝင်နိုင်တဲ့ drop ဆိုရင် over ကိုတစ်ဆုံးယူအဲ့ဒါဒီကောင်လေးနှစ်ကောင်အတွက်လုံးဝအသင့်တော်ဆုံးပဲ ဘာလို့ဆိုတော့တော်တော်ကိုမှကတန်းကရန်စော့တတ်တဲ့နှစ်သိန်းမို့လို့
Heads up, team fighting from him. I don't know. I feel like that's just how that game.
Okay အဲ့တော့ဘောတော့ဘယ်ပွဲကြည့်ကြမလဲ
I don't see the win condition.
လာနေတဲ့ပွဲက run eater တပွဲပဲရှိတယ် gamer legion နဲ့ run eater အဲ့ပွဲကြီးကတော့မကြည့်ချင်တော့ဘူးနော် ဒီတိုင်းလေးပဲ
If you have a 20
ဒီတိုင်းလေးပဲထိုင်ဆောင်ကြတာပါနော် coffee လေးတော့ဖြော်လိုက်အောင် က မနေ့ပြန်ဘောလုံးဝဲရှိရတော့ပေါ်တာတော့မနေ့ပြန်ဘောလုံးဝဲကိုကြည့်ကြအောင်ပါလားအာရ critic ကိုဘာတွေမေးနေရလဲ
carry matchup.
Yeah.
Very easy to play. To be
Sure.
honest.
Very easy to play.
I want to play on this hero and watch replays.
Let's play on this hero.
You can understand what to build, how to stay lane.
To stay the lane.
Like you
I
need
don't know what to do.
more hard on this hero. It's position team fight. You need
It's
to
a
understand
position.
what hero can focus, what enemy hero can focus
Rashadia.
you and destroy. That's very
I
important.
don't know. I don't know.
Gotcha. Well, thank you so much for that knowledge, and good luck in your upcoming match.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Into Annabella drop ဆောင်ပါမယ်နော်ကြိုမစင်းသားပါဘူးအေးစစ်စစ်သွားပါမယ်ဘာလို့ဆိုလက်ယူနှကောင်မလို့ပါ drop ကခုနကလိုမျိုးမဟုတ်ဘဲနဲ့ key over ဝင်လာနိုင်တဲ့ drop မျိုးဆိုရင်ကျွန်တော်တို့ over ကိုတဆုံးစော်ကြပါမယ်
All these teams
No?
are so close
နည်းနည်းတီးခံပါစိတ်ရှိပါ
and it's not the first time that we've heard that
စိတ်ရှိတီးခံလမ်းကြောင်းမှာ back and daughter do
theme this season. We of course have seen Noticed and DM effectively switching teams, and both teams seem to be better off for it. Just works out better. Kirtich joins BB at the start of this season, but had also a stint with them as a stand-in before that, where we already noticed the impact of the change in synergy in the squad. And I think Lacoste, it is very cool to see that that has grown, and that actually seems to be a deciding factor as to why teams now are just better.
Yeah, I mean, Falcons, they are a good example of sticking together, like the power of friendship that OG had as well. You know, these are type of teams that are going to be winning things because with the constant swaps, you always have to adjust to something new, which takes a little bit more time. Sometimes it clicks immediately. You have this honeymoon phase, but feeling relaxed, knowing exactly how, like, your laning partner is going to play, pushing the limits as well. It's definitely going to affect how stable you're going to be, and stability is something in Dota that every team thrives, and the stability does come with time, and with time spent together, not just inside the game, but also outside of the game as well.
I think Tofu mentioned it yesterday also in an interview where he was asked how's it going in Liquid and whatnot, and he's like, you know, it's going better every day. We're getting to know each other's better, understand each other's better, like learn how to interpret each other's behaviors. Or
ကဲဂိမ်းလေးစတော့ကွာပြင်းလာပြီလို့
that part is really, it's a massive part, like in team dynamics. These players are of different ages, different cultures, different backgrounds, like you name it. Like
အဲ့ဒါလောက်ရမယ်အဲ့ဒါလောက်ရမယ်အဲ့ဒါလောက်ဝိတ်ချမယ်
if it
ဝိတ်က
wasn't for
ညားနေတော့မယ်
and they're different in so many ways that they need to
နောက်ပြန်ဘောလုံးဝဲရှိရနော်ဘော်ဒါတို့ကြည်နေတဲ့30ကျော်
like get to know each
30ကျော်ထဲမှာ
other better.
သူတွေပါမလဲတော့မသိ
Especially in high pressure situations, like being in a Dota team is
ဟောလေ
like being in a
မနေ့ပြန်ဘောလုံးဝဲဆိုတော့ဂိမ်းမာတွေစုကန်လိုက်
everything's just
ဟုတ်ကဲ့
falling apart.
Amazing.
ကျွန်တော်တို့ try ရလုပ်တဲ့ activity တစ်ခုပေါ့နော်
And
Healthy game
yeah,
campaign
these
ဆိုတာ
things on top of it, the pressure, the
အားလေးမနေ့ပြန်
expectations from the
စနေ
fans,
နေ့
from
စနေ
deep
အပတ်စဉ်စနေနေ့တိုင်းရှိတယ်ပေါ့နော်
It's a lot to deal with.
နက်10နာရီကနေနေ့လယ်12နာရီထိပေါ့နော်2နာရီဖူးဆယ်ကန်ကြတာ
Through these highs and
join ရင် join လို့ရပါတယ်လို့
now have the proper approach, and yeah, it makes a world of a difference. I was thinking about BB team, and like I think to me the best way to put it is like playing BB team is like going through a Dota exam, like a tier 1 Dota exam. It's like, how good are your basics? You know, did you do your homework? Like, do you know how to lane? Do you know how to check runes? Do you know how to team fight? Do you know how to fight for objectives? Do you know the smoke patterns? And if you don't, you lose. If you do, if you did your homework, you're gonna get a game. You might lose anyway, but to me this is like the best tier 1 check, reality check that you can get is BB team, because they're so stable and so perfectionist with their gameplay that it's tough for teams that are a little bit shaky.
Well,
ကဲ trap ကတော့စပြီ
failed their first
လာပါပြီဗျာထုံးတဲ့တိုင်းဘိန်းပါပဲ
They get a second chance to pass their exam, but
ဘယ်လိုလုပ်ပြရမလဲကျွန်တော်နောက်ကကောင်ကမမြင်ရတော့ဘူးเนาะကျွန်တော်ပိတ်လိုက်တာပိုကောင်းမယ်နဲ့တူပါတယ်
Yeah, you're getting sent to principal's office.
ကောင်ကလမ်းနဲ့ဘဲကိုခင်ဗျားတို့တည်ငါးလောက်မကြည့်ရတော့ဘူးเนาะ
BB team, this is a kind of Katomi's most played hero.
ဒီပြောင်းလို့ပွဲရှိလားရှိပါတယ်ပြောင်းပြီးတော့ပွဲနေ့တိုင်းရှိပါတယ်ခင်ဗျာ
There's also a combination like
အုပ်စုနောက်ဆုံးရက်ထိပြောင်းပြီးတော့ပွဲနေ့တိုင်းရှိပါမယ်
you did yesterday when they paired
ဟုတ်တော့အုပ်စုတစ်ခုကိုသူကတစ်ရက်ကိုတစ်ပွဲပဲဆို
easy setup for the
ဒီနေ့ပြောင်းပြီးတော့ဗာနဲ့ဆိုရမှာလဲဆိုရင်
kills
ပြောင်းကြီး play တိုင်းနဲ့ဆိုရမယ်
they should not be really winning that lane, so I want to see what the approach for
ကျွန်တော်စဉ်းစားတာပြောင်းကြီးပွဲရလဲဟုတ်fan base တော့ရှိတယ်ဗျာသိတယ်မလားပြောရမယ်ဆိုလို့ကျွန်တော်ဟိုဟာ viewer များခြင်းနဲ့ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့အဲ့လိုပြောင်းကြီးပွဲတို့ OG ပွဲတို့ဘာလို့ညာတို့စသဖြင့်အဲ့လိုမျိုးပွဲပေါ့နော်နေကမာပွဲတို့ဘာလို့ရွေးပြရင်တော့နည်းနည်း viewer တွေရဲ့ attention ပိုရတယ်ပေါ့နော်ဒါပေမဲ့ဒီနေ့ကပြောင်းကြီးတို့က play တိုင်းနဲ့ဆော့ရမှာအဲ့ဒီအစားကျွန်တော်ကတော့ Aurora နဲ့ Liquid လေးကိုပြလိုက်တာပိုကောင်းမယ်လို့တော့ကျွန်တော်ကတော့ထင်တယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ကိုကန်သာတက်လာမယ်ဆိုရင်တော့ပြောင်းကြီးပွဲပြရမှာပေါ့နော်သူကလည်းပြောင်းကြီးပွဲပဲပြမှာအဲ့တော့ကိုကန်မတက်လာဘူးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ကျွန်တော်ကအော်မဟုတ်ဘူး sorry မှားကြည့်နေတာ July 10နဲ့17နဲ့မှားကြည့်နေတာ play time Aurora နဲ့ဟော Nigma က level အဲ့နဲ့အဲ့ဒါဆိုတော့ Nigma ပွဲပဲကြည့်ရတော့မှာပေါ့နော် sorry ကျွန်တော်အောက်က July 17ကြီးကိုသွားကြည့်တယ်သုံးပွဲလုံးအဲ့လောက်ကြီးမကောင်းသုံးပွဲလုံးအဲ့လောက်ကြီးမကောင်းဘာလို့ဆိုတစ်ဖက်အသင်းတွေအကောင်လုံးအသင်းနည်းနည်းဘယ်လိုပြောမလဲနည်းနည်းလက်ကွာတဲ့အသင်းပေါ့တစ်စင်းနှိမ့်တဲ့အသင်းလို့သတ်မှတ်လို့ရတယ်ပေါ့နော်Aurora နဲ့ play time ကတော့နည်းနည်းကြည့်ကောင်းနိုင်တယ်ဘာလို့ဆို play time ကလည်းကျွန်တော်နည်းနည်းတောက်လျှောက် mention လုပ်နေတဲ့အသင်းနဲ့တသင်းကို play time ရဲ့ဟိုဟာရဲ့ Legion Gamer Legion ရဲ့ဆိုတော့အဲ့တော့ play time က Liquid ကိုလည်း1-1ဆော့ထားတယ်အဲ့တော့ play time နဲ့ Aurora ကိုကြည့်မယ်ဆိုလည်းကောင်းတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ Nigma fan တွေကလည်းမနေ့က Liquid ကို 2-0 ရိုက်ထားတာဆိုတော့ Nigma ကလည်းနည်းနည်းလေးတော့ hype နေတာပေါ့နော်အားရောင် Nigma တကယ်ပြန်လာပြီလားပေါ့တကယ်လည်းကောင်းနေပါ draft တွေကောင်းတယ်Loranov ရောက်လာတာ mid ကတော်တော်တီးတီးတာဖြစ်သွားတယ်စူမီယာကြတော့ carry ဆော့နေတယ်ဆိုပေမဲ့ mid ပုံစံမျိုးနည်းနည်း aggro များနဲ့ဆော့နေတာလေးအဲ့ဒါလေးကအခုလက်ရှိမှာအလုပ်ဖြစ်နေတာလေးတွေ့ရတယ်ပြီးရင်မနေ့ကဆိုလို့ရှိရင် win run ဘာညာနဲ့အုံမှာ performance ပြရတယ်အရင်ရှေ့နေ့မှာလည်းဒီကောင်ရဲ့ဟူဝင်လို့ ring master လို့အဲ့လိုမျိုးလေးဆော့သွားသေးတယ်တူတယ်အဲ့ပွဲလေးတွေမှာလည်းဒီကောင် performance လေးတွေမစိုးကောင်းတယ်ပြောရမယ်
they need like all of these things to click together in the late game. There's one hero still left in the pool, and that's
Neli. Digmali ကလည်းနည်းနည်းလေး E2C မှာလည်းနည်းကျွန်တော် Dota စကားနဲ့ပြောနေတယ်တောင်းနေရောဗျာဒီမှာလက်တောင်းနေတာဒီကောင်လေး
I think they're setting up for it. Like I see the snap ban, ember ban.
ဥပီကြိုက်တဲ့ GL လေး game 2ဆက်ချလိုက်ရမလား GL game 1နိုင်သွားလား
and Bane actually I think
နိုင်သွားတယ်ကွာနော်ပြတ်တော့ကိုနိုင်သွားတာပဲပြတ်တော့ဖြစ်သွားတာချလို့ရတယ် Gamer Legion က
5 second setup
5 second setup is almost enough
ဟုတ်ကဲ့ Gamer Legion လည်းယုံနေတာဟုတ်ဗျာနော်ဒီကောင်လည်းအုပ်စုကိုတက်ချင်တာဆိုတော့ဒီကောင်လည်းအခုလက်ရှိက2-4ဆိုတော့ run eater နဲ့သွားတူနေတာအဲ့တော့သွားတူနေတဲ့အချိန်မှာဒီကောင်တွေညာမှာတော့မဟုတ်ဘူး Gamer Legion က team found လည်းပိုကောင်းပါတယ် Gamer Legion ကြိုက်ပါ Falcon ရဲ့ Babon ရဲ့ A-string ရဲ့ပြောမယ်ဆိုဒီကောင် A-string တော့ကြော်မယ်ဆိုကြော်လို့ရတယ်ဘာလို့ဒီကောင်လက်ချံပွဲကြတယ်ဒီကောင်ခြောင်သွားပြီနဲ့တူတယ် Gamer Legion ကမချောင်းသေးဘူးကွာဘဘုံနဲ့တပွဲကြံသေးတယ် sorry
I think some teams do that Yandex they play a lot of slaughter mid they're showing that is very strong I don't know if they played against Earthspit I have to go back and check
ပြောင်းကြီးတီးတီးဆိုတာ draft တော့ဒီတစ်ခေါက်မှာဒီကောင် draft တွေတကယ်ကောင်းတယ်ဟိုထိတ်ဆုံးစဖွင့်လိုက်တဲ့ run eater နဲ့ပွဲမှာလား run eater လုံးဝဘလို့မခံစိုးလို့မရအောင် draft တာ draft ထုတ်သွားတာလေကောင်းဒီစူမင်းဆိုလို့ရှိရင် Archimate ကိုဟိုတနေ့ကဆော့တဲ့ Archimate နဲ့မနေ့ကဆော့တဲ့ Archimate နဲ့ရှင်းလိုက်မယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဟိုတနေ့ကလုတ်ခဲ့တဲ့အမားတွေအကုန်လုံးဒီကောင်ချက်ချင်း fix လုပ်သွားတာတော်တော်ဟိုဟာဖြစ်လာတယ် performance တော်တော်တီးတီးတောင်တက်လာတယ်
So still showing the strength of the hero being played from 3 different roles, still going for the same item build. Like Helmut the Overlord just feels too OP. Again, we are going back to Ghost Push, BKB piercing abilities, all of these things that make your game so much.
တူတူနူပေါ့နော်နူကလည်းတကယ်မကောင်းဘူးနူနေအောင်လုံးလုံးရောက်သွားတာတကယ်တော်တော်ကောင်းတယ်တော်တော်မှတော်တော်ကောင်းတယ်ပြီးတော့လုံးလုံးကိုလည်းပုံမှန်လူတွေတိနေကြပြီးတော့ပူမပေးပဲနဲ့drop ကိုမှအဲ့လိုမျိုး sniper တွေပါညာတွေပြန်ပေးဆော်တာတွေပါညာတွေအဲ့လေးတွေလည်းကောင်းတယ် Necro Force တွေပါညာမနေ့ကဆော်သွားတယ်ကောင်းတယ် position 1 နဲ့ 2 နဲ့အတွဲဖက်ကြားထဲမှာတော်တော်ကြီးကိုမိုက်တယ်ညင်သွားတယ်ပေါ့နော်ပြီးတော့ GH ရဲ့ position တွေပါညာတွေလည်းကောင်းတယ် Oma လေးကလည်းနည်းနည်းလက်ကပြန်ပြDivine ကတော့ပုံမှန်ပါပဲ Divine လာမှတော့အဲ့လောက်ကြီးတော့
pretty good against Bloodseeker, I would say, in the game. These are 2 spells that you're really happy stealing, Blood Right and Rupture. great synergy. Bloodseeker Bane. That's classic. Like sleep into. Oh my god. Oh no. Another Mirana, please.
No. Maybe in the hands of save is different.
What's happening? Bloodseeker.
What is
second
this?
and
Ricky
Mirana.
လုံးဝမဆိုးတော့တာ
Wait, is this still 2026? Is this still EW? Did I jump back in time?
Ricky ကဟိုကဘာလဲ streaming တွေမှာညာလည်းမလုပ်တော့ဘူးလေကွာ
Okay, no.
Ricky run လေးမှာညာလေးတည်ရ
I guess it's happening.
These are not meta heroes.
ကဲဟုတ်ပါပြီထားပါ
Like
ဟာ
Mirana,
Blood Seeker
I mean, I already talked
စံတော့ကြောင်များလားမသိဟမ်
Blood
stand ပြီးသုံးပြီးပြေးလို့မရအောင် Blood Seeker ပြန်သုံးမယ်
Like you can't steal blood rage.
ဘာမှနည်းနည်းတော့ရွာတယ်ရွာလာပြီနဲ့တူတယ်ဘာမှနည်းနည်းရွာကျင်ဖြစ်နေတာလားမသိ
Only use it on yourself.
Yeah, I'm very confused by.
ဒီဘက်က Bane နဲ့ Mirana တော့တွဲသုံးထားတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ Ali မှာတော့အဲ့လောက်ကြီးမြင်ရမှာမဟုတ်ဘူးအိပ်ပြီးတော့မြားပစ်တာမျိုး
Bane with Bloodseeker.
ဘာလို့ Bane ကဟိုဘက်တောင် Mirana ဒီဘက်တောင်ဖြစ်နေမှာ
Blood right into round and down.
ဒါပေမဲ့ rune တွေပါညာလေးလာ
Strongest lane.
ဘက်ကလာပေးတာတော့ဘာလို့ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ဆိုတော့မဆိုဘူးเนาะမြင့်နိုင်တာတကောင်အိပ်ပေးလိုက်အိပ်ပေးပြီးရတဲ့ခလန်းလန်းနဲ့မြားပစ်လိုက်
Is it still the Maelstrom? Or are we talking Radiance?
He did go for Maelstrom.
ဒီဘက်ကလာတာ Lynch ကောင်းတယ်ဘာလို့ဆိုတော့ဒီ Blood Seeker ပါညာ physical သမားဆိုတော့ Lynch ရဲ့ Frosty က physical resistance အရင်တက်တာဆိုတော့ကောင်းတယ်
It's pretty straightforward. Like you need a lot more damage. We saw last game like Bane Mirana is very little damage. They were not even able to kill an Ember as 3 heroes. Ursula's good against Puck. The silence is very cool. Also great setup with the Bane sleep as we mentioned. Lich armor doesn't do anything against this overwhelming amount of damage. I'm also a little bit surprised with the Lich pick, if I'm honest. I think it's a solid pick, but I don't think it's particularly good this game. They have a lot of like pure and magic damage, and they're probably going to add on top of it.
Yep.
Maybe just like a laning partner. They want a melee hero. Maybe they've decided, and they want to be able to use that frost shield on the lane.
I'm down for Earth.
နားလီနော်ကျွန်တော်ဖြည့်သမားလေးလာလို့ဖြည့်ပြီးလိုက်
against Puck, maybe just to have a guaranteed stun, somebody who can start a fight. Earth Spirit checks a lot of those boxes. I think it's also a hero that dominates Puck in the lane. A hero with the 3.5 second max silence, plus you have like setup from the Bloodseeker, you have Fiend's Grip. A little surprised with the order of the picks that they did decide to go for, because I think on 14 this Earth Spirit would just look straight up good, and maybe they would have better options to pick up their position 4s and maybe a carry as well.
Question: if you want to go for a melee carry on the side of Extreme Gaming, why would you want to do that? Because Bloodseeker is really good. He'll just rupture you, and then you can't do anything. You just stand there like a dummy.
I think it's a Spectre game. If I'm like the only reason why I could see Lich be good is I mean I think of Jog and Spectre for Army, and both of them are amazing with Lich on the lane. I think Lich is a big enabler of these 2 heroes. That's the only reason I can come up with. I think the other options are very underwhelming. They're not gonna work against what BB team has. BB team have like actually, you know, I think Mirana is like a little bit better this game than it was with the Extremes lineup, because they have so much damage with Bloodseeker or Spirit. These are cores that are gonna dish out so much damage in the early game and in the mid game that Mirana really is just about like setting up essentially. What Mirana does give you that other supports don't is the ability to scout the map in pretty safely, and Moonlight Shadow also, like so you get like a terrain advantage, if you will, and in that sense when your cores are hitting earlier timings it can be interesting.
I appreciate the PL ban coming out from BB team.
They know that what the weakness was from previous draft for XG, because they have very similar lineup, very same archetype of the heroes and the same weaknesses. You did talk about you know, maybe Jug, maybe Spectre coming out. I would maybe add in potentially Tiny that could come out, a hero that stands his ground, has status resistance, and is able to punch back against the Bloodseeker. You don't care too much about like these turret type of heroes are going to be very good. If we're thinking about turret type heroes, I think on 24 for XG, probably the best hero that just stands the ground is Medusa. I feel like this hero could come out for Extreme Gaming potentially.
The Night Stalker that we've seen
ကျွန်တော်နေနော်
so
ကျွန်တော်ဟို
many
လေးဖြစ်နေ
times
sorry
against
ဘာတွေထပ်ပဲလဲ Asprey ရယ် Night Stalker ရယ်ကီကတော့ over ဘက်ကိုသွားခြင်းနဲ့ drag ပဲဗျာဒီလားနော် nice rock ဟိုနဲ့ဆိုတော့ဘဘုံနဲ့ KO ပါလေးမစိုးဘူးလို့ထင်တယ် KO ပါဆိုရင်တော့ကျွန်တော်ပြောသလိုပဲအဆုံးထိသာယူပါ55ကောင်အဆုံးဆိုရင်55ကောင်အဆုံးသာယူ58ကောင်အဆုံးဆို58ကောင်အဆုံးသာယူ52ကောင်ဆိုလည်း2ကောင်ပေါ့နော်ဘာဖွင့်လာတဲ့အဆုံးသာယူဗျာကျွန်တော်တော့ကြည့်ပေးမယ်နေခဏလေးအာယူတင်လဲဆိုတာလေ53ကအဆုံး53သာယူဗျာပေါ်လာတော့ရအဲ့တော့မှကွန်ဘိုတွဲခြင်းကျွန်တော်ခုနပြောသလိုဘဘုံလေးနဲ့တွဲရင်တွဲမသေးကြဘူးတခုပဲရွေးခြင်းလဲဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ over တစ်မျိုးတည်းပဲရွေး53 2.17 လားမသိရတယ်ကိုရတော့ထည့်လိုက်ပြီဗျာ over 53
no illusion clear whatsoever, which is why they banned PL. We'll have to see what Bloodseeker goes for, but it still is very single target heavy, so he never wins this matchup because even
မီးပြတ်သွားပြီခဏလေးနော်မီးသွားချိန်လာ
maybe a little bit greedy. We'll have to see.
Silence lineup from BB team. They can legit perma silence like with Bloodseeker, Night Stalker, and Earth Spirit. These are some longest duration silences in game.
It's a really hard puck game.
It's not gonna be easy for nothing to say. They do have one of the best counters to Night Stalker, and that's gonna be for bailing puck out of trouble and bailing TB out of trouble. That's gonna be Stampede, a global version of a save that can't save you. Like you use phase shift, use Stampede into phase shift, you get out of that AOE because he's not fast enough. I'm leaning towards extreme gaming this time around.
If someone's ruptured and you put him in the cart, you can roll them away without them dying, no? Because they're vulnerable.
Yeah, they're not gonna take the damage.
Yeah, I'm thinking ultra late game though. I
No,
don't
later,
know
yeah.
about the laning stage. In the previous game, it was decided that it was even in terms of laning stage. Is that similar now, or are we having a different scenario?
I mean, extreme gaming is gonna stomp their safe lane for sure. The Lich TV is gonna have the freest lane ever. As for the mid matchup, I think it's 60-40 in Earth Spirit's favor. Could be even worse if the Earth Spirit player is outplaying. And safe lane, Bane Bloodseeker, Rubik Centaur, I would give a big advantage to Bane Bloodseeker, especially because it's Bedboom, like it's BB versus Extreme. Like given the matchup, I think like Rubik Centaur could outplay, but I feel like the better laning team has the better matchup. So in that sense, they could struggle a lot. It's like no room for mistake on Rubik Centaur. I feel like if you once go on Bane or Bloodseeker when you're not supposed to, you're just gonna get destroyed on this lane.
Yeah, I think they should play aggressively in that lane, try to keep this Bloodseeker low because the setup that they do have, the turnaround potential with the heal, with the Brain Sap, Fairy Fires, Magic Wand sticks, it's gonna be through the roof. But also, I would love to see potentially Centaur in this one, just straight up getting double edge on level 2 to have extra bit of a damage to try to punch back against Bloodseeker, who's very low HP hero. Like his strength gain is pretty abysmal, doesn't get really tanky at these early stages, and try to play off of with that.
And we're saying that this Mirana will have a bigger impact than Mirana in the previous game. Why is that?
I think the heroes, like alongside Mirana, don't need as much from the position 4 than they did last game, in that sense. So less pressure on Mirana to be doing things. I think if she just scouts the map, plays deep ops, and chain stun, it's already good enough.
Yeah, well, let's find out if Extreme Gaming can pass their Dota Tier 1 exam against BB in Game 2 with Cap and SVG.
We're already starting off with a very interesting situation. BB team went for a deep smoke and Extreme Gaming a very defensive one, and it catches XXS by surprise. He walks up into the triangle, gets caught by the arrow, and GPK claims the first blood. So that is dangerous. Seb already broke down the lanes for us and talked about how that mid matchup is going to favor the Earth Spirit. Well, now with first blood, it's going to be even worse for the puck.
We've seen Earth Spirit destroy some of these matchups where he has the base damage advantage. Particularly that Earth Spirit Invoker matchup yesterday went super the Earth Spirit's way. Just absolute CS demolishing. So you do have to be careful with some of these matchups in terms of what that hero can do without even trying to trade the region against him, as actually also lose the runes.
Oh boy.
Rough's kind of just an awkward series for them so far. See if this game 2 fares a little better. I do think the draft looks a lot more stable for them. There's no cheese hero that's just going to 1v5 in the late game. If anything, it was kind of reversed. I think that PL game 1 was very tough for Ame to play into with his usual style. He doesn't like being just permanently outscaled. And I think we saw the awkwardness of that game. Here, Bloodseeker is the opposite. It's very easy to outscale Bloodseeker if you have the counter pick. There's a lot of carries that have very good matchups against this hero.
Sure.
He's more of a lane dominator or tempo hero in my opinion, though he's probably still one of the weaker carries in the game overall. You really have to know what you're doing, own the lane, have some cute combinations. They do have a couple of good ones. The Bane setup's nice. The Earth Spirit kick on a Rupture target can be nice. So you need a little bit of help in that sense. But ultimately, you gave XG a carry counterpick against Bloodseeker, and there's a lot of them, right? The Dusa, Faceless Void, Terror Blade, any illusion carry, any hero that can kind of block Rupture and just nuke him. A lot of the long-range turret heroes generally have good matchups against this hero because they can just sit there and hit him back. Any Satanic Buyer.
Sorry, Kanali, no?
Well. Ursa used to have a okay matchup because you just accelerate Roshan's. Sven can even sometimes out-tempo the hero, though that matchup is generally pretty bad.
So you're telling me is Bloodseeker loses to every carry that's not Bloodseeker?
Yeah, the hero's pretty bad. I was really surprised they just busted it out early in this draft. And I think it kind of changed the whole draft. Like all of a sudden, both teams are kind of trying to enable this Bloodseeker and play around it, and XG are just kind of thinking what they want down the road against this hero. And again, you had your choice. I'm surprised that Ame did not win the Dusa, because to me this struck me as like just a Giga 1v5 Medusa game.
This must be a bit of a scrim meta because it is not the only Bloodseeker pickup here at EWC. It was actually drafted by Mouse in their matchup against Nemesis. They did lose that game. It was a 67-minute barn burner.
That's Crystallison, right?
Yeah,
there's
that is
a big
definitely
asterisk on that. He'll play it in any meta. He just loves the hero. Kiritich is a Bloodseeker player. I hate picking this hero when you don't see the carry matchup. It feels icky to me, you know? And they saw basically nothing. So I really wonder what prompted them to just bust it out here. And we'll see if it pays off. I do like the Earth Spirit pick. I think GPK could potentially carry this game. He's set up well. He got the first blood. He has a good lane matchup. The silences are going to be really nice in this game in combination between him and the Night Stalker, just going in and setting stuff up. We'll see if they can make that work and kind of just set the fights up well for this Bloodseeker to be able to carry it over the finish line. Or does Ame just get too fat? Pretty nice Terrorblade pick. He had his choice. He'll have a free early laning phase here. He has good core matchups. If he gets Dispels and a BKB, he's kind of invincible in those durations. And you have Lich Armor and on top of it, so...
Sorry, guys, Kanali.
In terms of scaling for Ame,
time
as he did in that game one, he will very likely just carry it straight up here.
Kiritich with
Kanali, no?
61% win rate on Bloodseeker.
That's pretty
Not
good.
too bad.
That's really good. I mean, if you're positive win rate on this hero, that's insane.
Man, you really hate Bloodseeker, huh?
It's not just me, it's the stats. This hero is objectively very weak right now. You know, it doesn't mean you can't win with it, but stats don't lie.
Now you're starting me thinking about like what are the carries that have the worst win rates at like TI?
At TI?
Yeah.
All time?
I mean, Bloodseeker has to be, because like TI especially, like these bigger tournaments are all just like very often the games do stall out a bit. You tend to go a little bit later.
We got the Sleep Silence top, FY, taking a bit of damage.
Toss back does hit the Bloodseeker, stuns him up, but he is so fast that he is going to run down FY maybe anyway.
Got the Lotus. Nice little Lotus feed, though he is low, so you're getting some extra thirst here. Generally, that's another component with the hero. You want high harass lanes so that you get the extra thirst, and that's how you're going to dominate the lane early.
Yeah.
Night Stalker, probably the worst hero to do that.
Yeah.
In Dota. Like, he is the literal zero harass. I sit here for the first 5 minutes and do nothing. And Earth Spirit's not much better at it. You know, you're not the Zeus archetype, so...
Yeah, he dominates his lane matchup with the 18 base damage advantage he had over Puck.
And he's doing quite well.
The first blood combined with the bounty rune advantage, they started the lane off, and he had 18 attack damage over nothing to say.
Only 6 denies, though. Honestly, I think NTS is doing quite fine here CS-wise. Just GPK has that gold injection, and he will have a quick magnetize here to be able to potentially use in combination with the 6-minute power rune. That's the dream.
Rubik will finally die. Yeah, I think Nothing to Say has done a very good job. Like, he's just been playing off of pulling the creep wave as much as possible, because a straight-up CS battle, he would just get ruined.
100%. They do get that Sleep Arrow combination top. There's your first kill. Hits nighttime, so you're able to leave Miro a little bit alone.
And he's doing that maxed out silence build that allows you to clear through creeps better.
Still a process, but he'll get there eventually. And now they're eyeing mid, trying to get a little sleep or silence set up on the puck. That'd be the dream here, though. XG are kind of reading this move. Looking for the power rune. 6 minutes. Ooh.
Roll gonna miss, nothing to say. Waning Rift ahead of him, but it doesn't spawn bottom at all. Nothing to say. It's gonna take some damage here. Top rune should be secured by BB Team.
Still have nighttime advantage for a decent window here, and that is going to be good for the Bane and the Night Stalker. So this is generally when you'd want to set up some aggressive moves if you're BB. Could look at the 7-minute Wisdom Shrine with all this nighttime advantage. Generally, not the easiest fight for the Rubik. I think that's one of the things you can abuse about this hero. Rubik's really weak at the 7-minute Shrine fight compared to a lot of supports.
Slipping around, they got a really deep ward there. High ground triangle ward. Now they're going to take the Watcher on that 7-minute. Prepare for the fight. Miro is going to be surrounded, though. Extreme Gaming not worrying about the Wisdom Shrine. Make the move to the other side of the map to shut down Miro and all his lane pulling shenanigans. But that does mean that unless somebody gets there before, it means BB Team are going to get double Wisdoms. You were talking to Seb about this, the idea of how value the first Wisdom Shrine is, what it actually, how much it actually changes the game, especially in setups where you willingly give it up. How worth was that for Extreme Gaming? Like, if they know they can't fight it, ooh, the puck getting caught in the silence, and it's going to last long enough that he dies here.
Nice little rotation on the teleport out of base from Miro. Makes that death worth it. Kirchich getting beat up.
And trying to fight underneath the tower, which is not really where you're going to use your Rupture too much. They're going to still go for this kill anyway. XXS, tanky as he is, will end up dying. Kiritage did get low, but heals off of the kill.
Nice little core kills from BB Team striking during this nighttime.
And that will begin to snowball because they've got the 8-minute power rune probably in control here.
And there goes the other shrine. They will get a haste for GPK. Super nice rune. He has the magnetize and earn charges available. Can get real aggressive right now. These are the moments where BB need to strike. Find some moments of opportunity. They're going to get another FY kill here with the Arrow Sleep Classic. Kick his corpse. Might be able to pressure this top tower. It's very low. Got chipped down off the early catapult wave. So this top tower is dying while you're kind of just going on X-Nova here.
X-Nova, nice juke. The Centaur tries to join in. GPK actually does get stunned underneath the tier 2. X-Nova's probably going to take out here the Magnetize. There he goes. GPK keeps it up on the Centaur just for a bit more harassment, a bit more damage for them to put on this offlane tower that does fall.
Great rotation. Nice objective to attack. You have all the strength in the world, and if it turned into a team fight, Magnetize is great at powering up this Bloodseeker. These two heroes do work really well together. So every time you can bring them into the same play, you're going to feel great as BB Team. Miro looking potentially for a backstab mid, does have max silence with Dark Ascension available. This is pretty much a guaranteed kill on NTS if you gap close it properly. There goes an orb. He might be in trouble. They don't have the vision for it. It's a very nasty backstab in this last minute of nighttime if BB can get heroes here.
Gonna have to make the move soon. The orb just keeps on pulling. There's the Nightmare to get the Rubik out of position. Another arrow combo. But the creep wave is dead. This is kind of just the whole challenge here for Extreme Gaming, just not to give up this mid tower.
Man, FY getting the treatment. 3 deaths in these sleep arrows. He's like, that's what I wanted to be doing last game, man.
Yeah, seriously.
It's just going to guarantee another power rune for GPK. Magnetize coming up again in 10 seconds. And Miro still looking for the backstab. Does land the silence.
It's going to be pretty deep, but they do manage to land the rolling boulder that leads to the arrow.
And
beautiful stuff. Plus the Nightmare on the +1. That's going to be a Lich kill on top of it.
Damn.
And that is Extreme Gaming's Nightmare. Pun intended, because now that mid tower is a little bit more open for the taking. Miro, though, does actually have to back out. Bottom lane was being pressured by Ame, so mid tower actually maybe just perfectly fine.
This game is rough outside of your free farm Terrorblade, which does have a decent chance to carry this game. So it's not the end-all be-all to have a rough start elsewhere, but man, it's real rough. Some great rotations from BB Team. just punishing these supports. Didn't get the Wisdom Shrine. They're just getting massacred by the Sleep Arrow combinations. Level 4 Lich, level 5 Rubik. What are you doing in this game?
Also, they shut down the Centaur enough that he had to jungle, which slowed down his levels, meaning he didn't have Stampede
They're just gonna
to help
grip
the
him
puck
mid.
get out of the silence. Yeah, why?
Brother.
Leave me alone.
What did he do to deserve this?
They're going to send him back to retirement.
XG have not looked great in this series, I must say. We'll see what they end up doing over the course of this game, but it's just looked disjointed, right?
I mean, I feel like they looked pretty decent for the first 10, 15 minutes of game 1.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, right? And then it was just Ame went down mid on that mid-tier 2, dies, and a lot of their momentum went out the window.
I guess that's fair. The supports were looking pretty strong in that early game.
Yeah, I felt like they played that game, like, pretty decently. It was just a draft that was too much to overcome.
I just wish they had committed to an idea of how to win it.
Yeah,
I felt like they were just kind of waiting to see what happens instead of full sending with some idea and some timing. Here they do have a very clear win condition. It's get Ame fat and let him 1v5. But they are struggling to control the map. You still get arrows.
X-Nova didn't dodge the arrow. It doesn't matter, though. The PB team feel like they can't go for it. I mean, at some point, it becomes all too much. And you know Extreme Gaming are going to try and punish you, so.
Another great rune for GPK. And Vessel done. He's a monster on the map right now. Almost 2,000 HP, level 10. Has the max nukes. Vessel charges, amp damage. He is ready to cook. That is scary.
I love the idea of the Blink Dagger, too. Great way to
why not
put pressure on this puck.
I think you just get double Blink. Blink Earth Spirit, Blink Night Stalker, and you just jump the backline as lineup every time.
You guarantee that you get a bunch of damage done, even if you don't get kills. A bunch of damage leads to the Bloodseeker being super amped up and getting the kills for you.
Yep. Only counterplay is Stampede, which in theory, Rupture can counterplay a little bit.
Don't hit that camp, Ame. Oh, you're going to regret it, Ame. Kick him back with the Rupture. Sounced.
Beautiful rotation. Again, they're just making all the moves in this game. Even during the daytime, they're putting pressure onto Extreme Gaming here, who are still just wandering around with this support duo, like, unsure of what to do. They're not farming. They're not pushing waves. They don't have kill opportunities because their two playmakers got shut down on the lane. Finally, FY is going to hit some camps here and try and get to the level 6. Another sleep mid and another arrow connection.
And another Fiend's Grip. And another kill for BB team, up to 12 in 13.5 minutes, a 4,000 net worth lead. And as the objectives continue to crumble, that net worth gap is going to become bigger and bigger. Nice steal, though. Okay. Ooh. FY finally gets his level 6. Tommy's like, he got Fiend's Grip, guys. We got to kill him. Don't let him get away with that ability. Oh, no, FY.
It's not like this.
Oh, the one chance he had to do something good in this game, and BB team rip it away from him.
This is a slaughter. And that was your daytime. This is going to be Dark Ascension into a brief day period.
Yep.
But then you're kind of screwed around the map because no one's going to be able to show on these waves to get it out. Like, look at where they're positioned right now for how early it is in this game. Basically have every hero right outside your base and no wards on the map. I mean, good luck. This Dom creep is pulling some waves top, and that's about the only pressure that exists right now. This lead is gonna balloon very quickly.
Yeah, I'm almost getting to the point between game 1 and game 2, like, for the love of God, just go smoke, go do something, make a kill happen. I don't even care if the kill is good. Just get it for morale's sake.
Trying to do just that mid with the Chain Frost coil. Can land it all on GPK, you probably kill him. He does have an illusion rune. Ame is going to show up, start hitting this tower, try and bait the fight.
Roll in is going to whiff. GPK in so deep, that's an easy coil. Telekinesis is going to break it. And the Chain Frost off the illusion, so the illusion rune actually plays against GPK there, making the kill even easier. Finally, Extreme gets something, though they are still going to have some trouble here. Immediately, Stampede goes up, but he's been ruptured as well as Silent. They do manage to get him far enough away. He gets off a couple of spells. He commits and went for the kill on Night Stalker, but Night Stalker heals up. Ame's dead
grip.
with the grip, the control. Rubik tried to do what he could, but Kiritich fighting through it all. Got so low, but in the end, they wipe Extreme.
That grip was so timely from Kataomi. Completely salvaged that fight. You take away a lot of the damage going into the Bloodseeker and buys Kiritich time to start healing back up.
That was a 4 versus 5.
They just massacred him, right? Didn't even really lose anything. And this is the power of the Rupture against the Stampede. You have to get out of these silences, but the Rupture's countering your ability to do that. It looks like Kiritich is screwed here. Nope. Just 6 stuns coming out. He also gripped the Bane to try and like cancel the grip.
Yeah, Ruby did a really good job. FY reacted quickly.
Yeah.
But it wasn't enough.
Just didn't have damage to put into him. The thing about Bloodseekers, he does have high armor.
Okay, well, it goes from bad to worse. Is you go back in real time and immediately, Nothing to Say dies. Ex-Nova Couriers gets picked off, and Ame is maybe going to die as well.
Sunder? Not even going to try for it, just fleeing the area. Wants none of that. That was a rough fight to lose. No Earth Spirit. You got nothing out of it. This Bane has terrorized this game. Kataomi, 1-0-13. He is just abusing the night vision so well.
Arrow coming in. It lands it anyway.
Oof.
Not even played off of the Nightmare. Just good old shooting save. Proven that his Mirana prowess perhaps matches his Wind Ranger.
He's got to find the Centaur here too. I don't know if anybody can connect to this though. This one's a little too far out, but it's just so much pressure coming out from a 5 position in this game. It's been everywhere.
The Moonlight Shadow. Between that and the Blink Dagger, there are plenty of ways for them to sneak up on this puck. Nothing to say. I mean, I feel like he did pretty well in that Storm Spirit game, but this one, he is being assaulted.
Ooh.
Oh, waning rip to the side right as they chose
That was lucky.
to make the jump. That worked out nicely. Still going to be Nightmare on the other side, though, into an arrow. Ex-Nova does what he can, but the Frost Shield really does nothing against all this magic damage BB team are employing.
They just can't go anywhere. They have no vision. Very little mechanisms to gain a vision advantage. Just stuck in Night Stalker jail. Who's rushing Crimson Guard, by the way. It's just going to be utility from Miro. And I think it's smart. Like, you have to play through the Bloodseeker. Just buff him up. Make sure you can enter the 5v5. And you're not going to have issues this game because the rest of the map play is working out beautifully for you. See, to me, this is the difference between Game 1 and Game 2 is I think BB have recognized, yeah, we could just try and scale Night Stalker and farm all 3 cores and go late, but conceptually, it's not what you want to do against this terrible. Like, you want to gain a lead with the laning advantage, pick people off around the map, and then use that gold to buy some auras here, make the 5-man strong, get early Roches, and you can go high ground in this game at that 30-minute mark. And XG are not going to be able to fight it if you have Greaves, Pike, Crimson, whatever.
Right, you're saying this comparison to what you wanted to see from the Doom in Game 1?
Again, I'm not sure they win that game if they do that. It's a very tough game. But you need some identity of, you know, what is the timing we're going to hit and what are we going to use, how are we going to use this to win the game? And I think it's going to work out here for BB. Like, this Crimson on the Night Stalker, it's going to be strong in the fight. You don't have the best heroes to chunk through it this early in the game.
You talked about conceptually draft versus draft, but also I would say conceptually against Extreme Gaming as a team, right? They're just such a slow team that if you, either have the better late game guarantee because of a hard carry. Stampede goes out trying to get away from this silence. They pick off Ame pretty easily. Nobody can do anything to help him. They'll just die alongside him. In fact, they're just going to be chased down all the way underneath the tier 3.
Oh, it's time to
bypass
dive.
the tier 2. FY, a good charge in, catches the puck as well.
Jeez.
Practically a team wipe. The Centaurs, they're done.
Rough series right there.
I was joking about the early GG out in Game 1, but Extreme actually pulled the trigger in Game 2. They can handle BB team.
That almost felt like a tilt out. There was no concise move that happened that game. All the lanes are going a little rough other than Ame farming. It felt like they just wanted out of that game from like minute 10. Just get me out of the Bane Nightmare, please. I don't want to play against this Bane anymore. That was a first pick Bane that basically ran the gamut, right? Kataomi ends this game 1-0-17. Just sleep after sleep after sleep after sleep. And what is the counterplay? They didn't really punish the first pick Bane, and I think that's where the panel is talking about, like, you can liken this hero. You know, you can pick summons, you can pick a Spectre, you can pick Silencer, you can pick really hard counters to make it hard for him to maneuver around the map. That's the biggest thing about this hero. They pick Rubik, which can turn spells around against it, but this doesn't help the map gameplay. And I don't think they ever necessarily address that component, so he just has free run, especially during nighttime, when you have Night Stalker to back you up. Like, these nighttime intervals are just so oppressive. Unless you can just group up with Terrorblade and start hitting towers, you're gonna bleed heroes in this game. And that's the type of gameplay that Bloodseeker likes. I mean, this draft came together. I think there are ways to exploit an early Bloodseeker pick, and I think this Terrorblade can do it, but you never get to the part in the game where we even got to see that interaction.
Yep. Crazy. They had 3 heroes that went deathless in this game. Kirjit Save and Kataomi all managed to pull that off. Meanwhile, in a 20-minute game, Nothing to Say spent 3.5 minutes of it dead. That is insane for how short death timers are.
To be fair, I think NTS maybe had the best series of anybody in XG. And I think in this game, too, he has the roughest game. Like,
oh, yeah.
There's a Night Stalker, Bane, Earth Spirit with the arrow follow-up. And you can't stampede the puck out of the AoE silences because there's a rupture.
Yeah.
This is a super anti-puck draft, right? This is not a draft you can look at and go like, well, NTS should just be unkillable and carrying this game. This is a game you expect puck to have a rough one, and maybe you can rat later on and he can come back. Like, he should have an expected 4 or 5 deaths here. That's just like, it has to be the 2 other cores that make up for it. So I don't necessarily put the fault on him. I mean, what is he supposed to do? Like, he's supposed to just somehow win mid against First Blood Earth Spirit, who has higher base damage, and then get power runes and, like, kill Night Stalker during night.
Yeah,
what do you want, you know?
3 bounty runes, First Blood, Earth Spirit.
They also lost Wisdom Shrines. Their supports are really far behind.
Yep. Like, the supports aren't able to do anything. Ultimately, they like a Centaur who lost lane isn't going to be able to do much, and then you're asking a Terrorblade to try and win the game for you in 10, 20 minutes? That's not really likely. So, as a result, BB team, I think they just work Extreme Gaming. They beat them both in draft and in-game. We can go to the stage where Slacks is ready to go with a fresh new voice.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dota Capitalist. I wish my voice could be as beautiful as yours. I am Amiero. Good to see you, my friend, on an incredible banger series. That looked easy. Did it feel easy to you guys? Were you surprised by how easy that was?
I mean, it is a good opponent for us, so we was confident about our drafts. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about those drafts. We've seen some pretty standard stuff, you know, the Earth Spirit keeps
getting picked up
sorry,
Diman.
Some great stuff coming out of the game, too. You know, Night Stalker, a lot of people expect anything but Bloodseeker. Let's talk about Night Stalker first. Was that your idea?
Some players are started to play this hero, and
yeah, it doesn't just seem good. We watched it. It was
sorry.
good. Why in this game was it good?
Why in this game?
Yeah.
They got puck, they got suppers. It's food for Night Stalker.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Talk a little bit about the Bloodseeker. Kind of risky. A lot of people think this is not a good hero. Used it very well. Who came up with that and why?
Okay, ပေါ်လာလို့ sorry ပါကျွန်တော်တို့ now series ကြမှာပြန်တွေ့တာပါနော် now series ကဘာဖြစ်လဲ
our pos 1 and
အဲ့ series ကြမှာပြန်တွေ့တာပါနော် sorry
on
အ
this
မှန်ပါ
hero, so
နော်နောက်ပွဲကြရင်တေချာပွဲပြပါ
Would you recommend
Error လေးတက်နေလို့ပါဗျာ
ban it
sorry
out
နော်
against you? Do you think that would be a smart move for them, or should they just keep letting it through?